Welcome back to SimRace.tv, Masters of Endurance, 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka International Circuit. Here in the Meat Prefecture in Japan, John Palmer, Phil Diaz, and Michael Passingham with you. And Paso, we have had an exciting race so far, a clean start for having 60 cars go into the first section of track. There's been some pretty good action so far throughout the race. NX Racing Red leads from Iberica Racing Team and Team Redline. In Paso, what has struck you the most interesting so far this race?
Probably about 20 or so laps ago, it's the downfall of the Coanda car, the joint championship leaders, and their incident, the sort of unavoidable crash they had at the hairpin, where a car spun in front of them, and they had a small impact, had to go into the pit lane, and lost about 3 laps, and now they're well down the order. They're nearly at the back, I can see them on my list at this point. But no, they have lost a huge amount of time and will almost certainly not be in the league championship coming out of this round. Aside from that, the actual strategy going on at the front is very interesting indeed. NX Racing Red are on a completely different strategy to anybody else, and it's going to be interesting to see if they actually keep the lead when it comes around to the final round of pit stops. Iberica Racing Team was very impressive throughout the race in their roof, and Team Redline, being there or thereabouts, they were pole sitters. They've been third pretty much for the last couple of hours or so. So really, any one of 4 teams can win this one.
Yes, indeed. It was a 2-horse race last round. So, Paso, you've seen some pretty good, got a good idea so far of the 4 teams running. Who do you think has the biggest chance of those 4 teams?
I think I'd go for Redline personally. If they get Enzo Benito back in that car for the last hour and a half or so, I think his pace could really give him a great chance. Aside from that, maybe Iberica as well. And also NX, because I don't know how their strategy could play out. But I mean, I'd put my money on Redline, but really, what do I know?
NX Racing jumping everyone to the pits by about 6 or 7 laps in the very first stint of the race. And Phil, do you think that's a short pit strategy, or do you think there's something else going on?
To be honest, I have no idea what's going on with how they're doing it. I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of smart. It's different. They went basically opposite of what everyone else is doing, and that may pay off in the end. I'm not sure. For them, I know they're hoping it does. I really don't know what it could do.
Well, we've got just over 73 laps left to figure it out here from the Suzuka International Circuit. Don't forget to get in touch with us through varying means of social media. Twitter, follow us at Masters of Endurance, or Masters of Endu, excuse me. Thanks Twitter. Also, use the hashtag IRMOE, Kyla specifically. Also, IRC on the Game Series Network. Hashtag MOE, that channel. Also, Facebook Masters of Endurance. You can also check out mastersofendurance.net/live to see the stream, IRC, and live timing in all things.
So sorry about. Currently on car 20 here. We should have saw him passing the number 7 Pure Racing Team 1 car. That was a pass for position. The number 7 position.
Yeah, Joel Guez, 06 Sim Racing number 20. But yeah, that was passing Andreas Allensberger for the Pure Racing Team 1. McLaren. And yeah, that was for 7th. There's a close battle between car 2 and car 54 going on. In fact, who was that? There was a slow car. Oh, US CSR car 67 slowing into Spoon off the track. Just very slowly making his way around the infield. Not really sure what's gone on there. That's Simon Carr. And he's back onto the track now. Possibly with damage. He's going very slowly.
There's another car off just before Spoon. Is Virgil Racing trying to overtake Team Kimura car? Team Redline just behind them.
Yeah, Simon Carr's problem, he lost it on his own on the way in and crashed into the barrier and is making his way back very slowly. And yes, it is that battle between car 54 and car... oh, I've lost everything. I just lost
Car 54,
all my
car 2.
cars.
Oh, and a car rejoining there.
So now seeing Kimi Ansu Niimi just lapping, putting a lap down on another car. He's currently in 11th. Meanwhile, Simon Trendle in 12th, just making his way past Patrice Anglais of Monster Energy Endurance. He's position 39. Simon Trendle P12. He's sitting behind Christian Simchek, the Redline team. But yeah, you're currently watching Virgil Racing, car number 2 in P11.
They've moved up the field quite nicely from their, well, they qualified well, but they just dropped back from an early spin. Now they've made their way back into the top 10.
Yeah, indeed. And they're lapping at a relatively good pace, although they have had to go through a few back markers of late. Simchek behind, about to take them away from being on the lead lap, I think.
Well, it's interesting to note, Christian Simchek hasn't really, dare I say, hasn't really kept the, well, he kept the gap decently, I guess, to Pablo Lopez and Iberica Racing Team.
Yeah, gap is 4.1 seconds, which is pretty, I mean, as long as he's sort of within visual distance by the time Enzo Benito takes over again, I think that'll keep him in a good contention of victory here. Meanwhile, Pablo Lopez is 9.3 seconds now behind Isaac Price in that leading Next Racing red car on the mystery strategy. Jake Burton in the custom MH47 car pulling off track. I'm not sure why that happened. He pulled off onto bits of the track that were, oh, he's on the grass now. I'm not, yeah, really unsure what's going on there. I don't know if he's got a problem with getting out of everyone's way because I really don't know. They're in P43. Nothing obviously, I mean, there's damage on the car, but I think that's been there for a while. Oh, okay. There was an incident earlier in the lap actually. Oh, there was a big incident for them earlier in the lap, as it turns out. So there was a car off at the final bend, and that was the Flux Racing car who'd crashed at the final corner. And yes, it looks like the custom image car just got caught out and had the same accident. It's very unfortunate, and that is why. Oh, another car was involved in the accident. You're obviously not seeing this on screen. I'm just looking back into the replay. Oliveira from LIT Motorsports hit the wayward custom image car. So 3 cars badly damaged at an incident at the final corner.
Okay, cameras now actually work now. Had a little technical difficulty there. That was my fault. As you could possibly see at the top of the screen there, everything flickering. That was the overlays having fun.
Yep, they're back doing their job. Very nice overlays. I said this last time, but yeah, having overlays is a cut above what we used to have back in the old days, when we back in 2008, 2009. Yep. How times have changed.
Just want to note that the Team Iberica racing car, Pablo Lopez driving, behind Isaac Price, about 8 seconds or so. Gonna play big when it comes to at the end of the race. The last pit stop, how much fuel is taken by each team. We are in the second half of the race now, so I guess we can talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd guess a couple more, 2 or 3 more pit stops for most of the runs. No, probably 2 more, right?
2 more, I believe. Gonna see around laps anywhere between lap 110 and oh, sorry, not 110. That's way too early. I'd say probably 115 to 125. We'll see a pit stop.
Okay, so now let's look at in X1. So we can see there's 69 laps to go. Their current stint is 21 laps. They go 10 more laps, let's say. They'll pit on lap 115, which will then leave them 50 laps to go. And you can't do 50 laps in one stint, so they're going to make another 3 stops.
Well, they'll pit around... Hold on now, you got me all confused.
Yeah, I do that. My strategic thinking is... well, I was thinking out loud, really. So, yeah, maybe you can confirm or
well, if they
deny.
pit around lap... Let's say lap... I don't know. Let's say lap 115. If they pit at lap 115, and then you add 60 to that, that's 175. So they can do like 29.
Oh yeah.
To make it to the end.
Yes. See, that's my strategic thinking for you.
Well, Isaac Price been making some mistakes here lately. Just went off track there. We saw him just lost about a second this lap. Made a mistake in the hairpin as well. And the number, I believe it was 113. Actually unlapped himself. 113 currently in the 8th position.
So really, this is looking pretty good for InX Red then, in that case.
I think so, yeah. It's just the final pit stop, they're going to have to take more fuel, and it just matters how much more fuel it's going to be.
Yeah, it's just kind of how much they'll lose per lap with the extra fuel on board.
Exactly.
If the gap remains around 10 or so seconds, it will be a grandstand finish, that's for sure. Because the guys behind, Lopez or whoever is driving the Iberica and Redline cars, and as they try and catch him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But that is probably a good couple of hours away at this point.
Yeah, I think we'll see Moreno back for the Iberica Racing team, and he will be doing, I have no idea, I have no insider input whatsoever, but I think he will be doing probably the last 2 stints, because I think Pablo's on his 3rd now. So they'll have 2 more stints, and I think Moreno will be doing those 2. And I mean, Moreno very fast at the beginning of the race, so we'll see what he can do. Also, there was a black flag for the number 85 America's Racing yellow car for the incident that happened earlier with the number 54 Team Camaro number 2 car. I believe that was in the hairpin. Not quite sure how it's possible, but the NX Racing blue car, after that huge impact at 130R, is still somehow in the 12th position.
Yeah.
Direct Clutch Motorsport just making a pass there. Looks like there had been a spin recently in 130R. That's not good. Oh, we have a damaged car there. Looks like Falcon GP. Possibly the number 76. Oh! And there's contact. Number 76 could not get into the pits, or just simply was not paying attention.
Stopped on track on the outside of the final turn, has now been towed.
Wasn't too smart there. It'd be better just to be on the right side of the track, even if you're in the grass, and wait for the cars to go by. However, it doesn't look like it did damage the 83 car. It doesn't look like it destroyed it too bad, as there's a spin in front of him as well.
That's an Impala Team Camaro 53. Just recovering through the S's.
Lots of dust flying up now. People seem to be making mistakes. A lot of people's breaking point here, I guess. Also, the number 9 and number 79 battling. It's for the 21st position. Lars Conrad for the Pure Racing Team 2 car.
Yeah, and Conrad is in the slipstream of Almeida. As he looks to the inside of turn 1, should be a little bit difficult as they go side by side, but Almeida decides to let it slide.
Yeah, we've seen that exact thing before, where 2 cars go side by side. There are 2 McLarens actually, and we saw the Team Camaro car get tossed off. So,
as it were.
Yeah, it's very, very gutsy going through there side by side.
Yeah, because there's very little difference between the inside and the outside, because you turn in about the same, and then there's another corner up ahead of you, so really you can brake at the same time. So it's a fun one.
And one would almost think that the outside could almost brake later, simply because of that little kink there for the start of turn 1.
Yeah, especially with high grip cars, like in single seaters, you see a lot of cars around the outside there. There's so much grip.
Yep. Also want to note the Glacier Racing car, the only Ford GT in the field. Yes, that does say the 16th position.
Very nice.
Came up from, I'm guessing about 48th or 49th position.
They were 48th at the start.
48th when they started the race, and now they're up to 16th. Currently trying to run down the number 109 car.
Yeah, that's that 109 car is the Cracks Racing Team. Sorry, not Cracks Team. Cracks Racing Team. There we go. Yeah, in fact, that Glacier Racing car, they're the only They were the only 4 GT cars who even entered qualifying as well. So really, they are the sole representative in the entire entry over the course of the event. Because no one else bothers to give it a go in the 4 GT.
Yeah, it's not a strong car currently in iRacing. They, I don't want to say rushed it out, but it came out the last build and clearly it wasn't thoroughly tested, I guess you could say, as far as the speed in comparison to the other cars. Definitely well off the pace. However, Glacier Racing's been making the best out of it.
Yeah.
I think Yanni Hagner's actually, this might be his 3rd stint in the car. I'm not too sure, I haven't been following him. I don't know who drove the 3rd stint for them. My apologies. Actually, this is his 2nd stint in the car. Just want to note that the BMW directly behind the Glacier Racing car is not on the same lap. However, the car behind it is the Pure Racing Team 1 car, and that is for position. So this is actually a battle for 15th, 16th, and 17th. Also want to note that the Team Redline car is slowly dropping away from Iberica Racing. Looks like the McLaren's struggling a little bit, or at least Christian Simchek is, as the tires wear. Pablo Lopez just extending his gap in the Iberica Racing car. NX Racing Red still leading, about 7.5 second lead over Iberica Racing Team. Possibly will want to extend that by the end of the race for their last pit stop. Iberica Racing Team will have a shorter pit stop.
So Glacier Racing now looking to take that 15th into 130R, but no chance there. They were slightly too far behind. That is Segundo Martinez for Crash Team Racing. That blue BMW. Good exit from the final corner, and I think Glacier Racing has a really good shot at passing at the inside here. Hagner pulls to the inside. He may well be ahead before they even get to the corner.
Oh wow!
That is showing some bravery there. You're pulling right back in front of him.
Yeah, that was I'll say gutsy. I'll use the word gutsy.
Perhaps not the wisest thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. The Ford, like I said earlier, biggest advantage is straight line speed. The BMW's basically weak link is the straight line speed. So we saw that pretty blatantly there. Glacier Racing easily able to pass the car ahead.
Yeah, I imagine that will probably suit them pretty well Bathurst, with all the long straights going there.
Yes, and Spa as well, really.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be enough to make them extremely competitive, unfortunately.
No.
Also
Still
want to note that the number 52 and the number 9 currently in a battle for position. 52 car has quite a bit of damage, actually. Number 9 directly behind them, Pure Racing Team, number 2.
Yeah, that 52 is last lap. Richard Holiday at the wheel. And yeah, last time around, Pure Racing Team 2 in the McLaren, just behind. And ahead of them, that's Carl Moedig, but he's in 38th position for KRT Motorsport.
Yes, just so everybody knows, yes, there's a lot of cars currently in the shot. However, many of those cars are not for position. The car that we just saw in the background, the white McLaren, that is New World Sim Sport number 2, and the 44 car. Where are they currently, actually? In the ranks of position. It's Anti currently in the car for New World Sim Sport. They're actually a lap behind. Quite sure why. Maybe they got damaged from the Team Camaro contact? Not quite sure. They got a tow bug, one or the other.
Yes. Yeah, that's that was a pass.
Yeah, they've been overtaking everybody in this little Congo line here we've had.
Yeah, just trying to unlap himself because I think the pace is reasonable. It's just a case of getting past everyone and then getting into some clean air and trying to unlap them.
Yep.
Yeah, doing up sort of high 159s where everyone else is doing 2 minutes. Everyone else around them are doing like 2 minute laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're obviously much faster than this position tells us.
Also, Connie Hagner must be in traffic because they're battling once again. We also have the number 83 and the number 54 currently battling. Direct Clutch Motorsport right behind Team Camaro 2 car.
Yeah, through the last corner. They're both white on your screen. The car ahead is the Camaro of Simon Trendle. And yes, Christopher Osborne of Direct Clutch in the Porsche. Roof behind. Can't be just. Those are my two things: pronunciations and roof. Very, very close. Osborne's still right up the back.
So yeah, saw him get a little fight for retraction there, I guess you could say. Very close to the hairpin.
Yeah, it's battle for P12. They've respectively done 24 and 22 lap stints. So they're a few laps away from another pit stop. So they would like to settle this battle, I think.
Sure. Direct Clutch Motorsport been doing a great job this race, actually. Been in the top 15 pretty much all race. Always in little battles here and there.
He's going for it up the inside of 130R.
Oh, I sure hope not. Oh.
Yes, I think lets him go on that one. A wise decision.
Lots of daring moves, but I guess the track kind of asked for that. Such a tough track to pass on.
Yeah, it makes every driver here look like a badass, basically.
Exactly.
Every lap you do, the cooler you become as a person, because this track is so gosh darn difficult.
Exactly. Just want to go back to the New World Sim Sport 2 car. They were in lap traffic, however, they have caught a car that is for position.
That's Race More Kraut Racing.
Yes, Kraut. Remember that name now from. Actually, do I? Seems familiar. New World Sim Sport right on the back here.
And yeah, they're side by side, and Pilar makes the move again through 130R, and the race more car of Christian Schlick also is passed, although not for position, by the Pure Racing Team 2 car of Lars Conrad.
That Kraut car really lost a lot of time there. Still dropping back quite a bit. Actually, just in the background, you might have seen it, I'm not sure. But the Last Lap Motorsports car just got taken over by, I believe that's Phoenix?
Indeed,
Number 79?
yes. Jose Almeida just took P19, going over the start-finish line. Yeah, they're both coming up behind that Racemore car. So that could give the last lap car of Richard Holiday a chance to repass Almeida, who took that position moments ago.
Also want to note that the NX Racing red car of Isaac Price just pit. Jake Sturgis jumps into the car. Not quite sure. Actually, Jake might be doing the rest of the race. Could see that happening. It's just a double stint, about 2 hours or so, maybe a little less. Roughly 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah, that'll one more stop after this one.
Exactly. I think I said 115. I think 114 is pretty close. Lap you pit on.
Yeah, not bad.
So they just need to do 2 30-lap stints, practically full fuel, and we'll see where they are from there. Haven't even exited the pits yet. Currently in the 5th position as they finally now exit the pits. About 20 seconds ahead of Team TTL, which we spoke to Dylan Sharman earlier. Quietly now in the 6th position.
Yeah, not bad for their first race in the series.
Yes, very, very, very talented drivers. I think Richard Hampstead did appear on this server recently, so he will be driving one. He will be driving for them probably the last 2 stints. And that should be entertaining. Very, very fast driver. Looked like before NX Red, they were about 6 seconds ahead of Iberica Racing Team. However, they have the fresh tires now. They will be able to pull a gap once again.
Yeah, this is the time where they really have to shine.
Exactly. Christian Simchuk, which we can see on screen right now. Look at the gap between him and Iberica Racing Team. 10.8 seconds. Just want to note also that Dylan Sharman was hoping to get into the top 30. Currently in the 6th position. That's not actually bad thought to be in. Could possibly get into the top 30 just from that result alone.
Yeah, and in case you didn't realise, top 30 is crucial. It guarantees you entry. It guarantees you be on the grid for the next race, assuming you put in a lap time that is within 103% of the pole time in qualifying, which is pretty crucial. It's actually a competitive field.
Yeah, at Spa though, that's actually quite a bit of time. It's like 4 seconds or so, 103%. Such a long lap these cars do. I know in F1, for example, it's a little bit broader of a percentage, but those cars, finish a lot much quicker, so could be why.
Car 27 has had an off.
Yes, they have.
That's the Velocidade Endurance team. They were off at Spoon, apparently. Didn't
It looks
catch
like supposedly spun to the inside of the corner. Whoa, on exit. As they just passed Dream Factory there. The white car is Dream Factory. Sorry once again for the cars for some reason not rendering completely. It's actually a battle for position between cars 27 and 90. which is Dream Factory and Velocidade. Velocidade, though, have some damage, and it looks like they're just kind of letting people by.
Oh, maybe
just wanting
not.
to survive.
Contact. Dream Factory goes on the outside. So, Para Argenti. I was looking back in time there. That happened a while ago.
Just want to note that the Coanda Sim Sport car, they are making their way back through the field. They were down to, dare I say, 42nd at one point in time. Now up to 30th. That's the Trinity Motorsports 3 car directly in front of them.
Every position gained is important because you get points pretty much for finishing. So finishing halfway up the field is could be crucial come the end of the season, because you can't expect to finish well in every single race this year. There's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be problems.
I think whichever top 5 team essentially does every single race and finishes decently every single race is the one that will be looking strong for the championship. I know the final race is at Bathurst, and that's tough right there. We could see tears in the final race. So.
Look back, and just about 45 seconds ago, Richard Holder of last lap lost the car at Dunlop, in the middle of Dunlop, spun across the road in front of a couple of cars, in fact, in front of Timo Heuskenfeld Engineering and Rincon Racing, and almost got collected. Not a good couple of laps for last lap. Oh, there's contact between Rincon Racing, that's car 93, and Steve Buchheim from Heuskenfeld Engineering, car 66. That was through turn 1, and another car has spun. And that's Hugo Barbosa, AB Racing Black, car 75. This is all through the first set of corners, the S. Not seen, you just seen him recovering. That was, 3 cars involved in unnecessary incidents there.
Yeah, this number 75 car, quite a bit of damage on the car. Looks like the number 75 car you see, the white car on stream currently, they actually had contact with the number 47. Looks like complete net code. 47 car is an Australian car. So, just bad luck there, essentially.
Yeah.
Want to note that the Team TTL car did pit, and Richard Hampstead is in the car. So he did wake up. Not sure how they woke him up. Maybe they called his phone, or maybe he just woke up on his own. Maybe he has like a voicemail machine right next to his bed, so they called him and was screaming into it.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
It's
definitely happened before.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. I think, 4 or 5, maybe even like 4 a.m. at this point.
Yeah, 4 a.m. for sure for Dylan Sharman. Or I know for Jake Burton. I don't know about the rest of them, which time zone they're in Australia. I believe there's 4 total.
I think a wheel manufacturer needs to do some kind of sim racing bed, like those novelty sort of pretend car beds, but like with actual sim racing equipment, so you don't even have to move. I think that would sell, especially for those guys.
Poor Australians.
Get Dirty Spear Designs on it.
Let's see. Oh, we have interesting thing here. Wasn't expecting this actually. This is Iberica Racing Team, currently in the pits. Is it me or is this? They're actually pitting earlier.
Yeah.
Than Team Redline.
That is.
They have put Moreno back into the car.
Although I think last time they also pit earlier than Redline, didn't they? Like by a lap or so. Unless I'm, again, talking rubbish.
I don't know. I thought they pit one lap later. Remember, and we were watching them as they exit the pits to make sure Red Line didn't overtake them by
Yes.
pitting one lap earlier. Come out of the pits just in front of 2 lapped cars. Some clean air. Maybe they're trying to not lose too much ground to NX Racing Red. Not quite sure. Instead of having one very short stint at the end, they could make 2 smaller stints. Could also be the strategy. Just want to note that we do still have 53 cars on track after 118 laps.
The retirees so far, Falcon GP1, Hellenic Racing Team, All-Star Racing Team, Radicals Online 3, Direct Clutch Motorsports, AV Racing Red, and Vortex Sim Racing. What's it? Direct Clutch Motorsports.
I believe they had 2 cars in the field.
Oh, yeah, they're labelled differently.
Yes, the number 83 is currently in the 8th spot, but I'm guessing there's pit stops going on. Virgil Racing, for example, is in the pits. Team Redline's in the pits.
So Direct Clutch have 2 teams, one with Motorsports and one with Motorsport, which is in no way confusing.
Wow. We also have the Core Motorsports car just coming by now to take over the lead. Interesting to see what happens with them. Whoa, as they run wide in turn 1.
That's interesting to see that happen as well.
That was a good save.
Yeah, could have gone worse.
Now see, they will be going about, I want to say 4 more laps. Lap 121, lap 122. Somewhere in there.
So that'll give them 2 short stints to the end. Or one very short stint at the end.
Yeah, one. I'm thinking they might just do 1 short stint at the end. They might cut it in 2 though, who knows. I think you have to either be committed on which one you cut, essentially, because if you're going to cut, you know, cut laps, cut stint lengths, you should just possibly just do that from the very beginning. But who knows?
Yeah, makes more sense to stick with a plan and go with it. So joining us here in the commentary box is Christos Panos from Hellenic Racing Team. Apologies if I mispronounced your name there, but I see that your car is down to 5th and out, it appears. Well, what happened?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. First of all, thanks for hosting this. Nothing comes close to Masters of Endurance. It's always a blast. What happened was, multiple things happened. First stint went rather well. As I see somebody going very wide there at the exit of 130R.
I was 3 wide for a moment, sorry.
First stint went very well. We had a spin in the second stint, which sent us into the wall. Fixed the repairs, went out again, had another spin because the car was not fixed. Repaired them again. Car seemed to be okay, came in for another pit stop, so we did another fuel run, and then out of the pits, second lap, the car just blows out of nowhere. Although the temperatures were fine, so I really don't know. I'm not even sure iRacing models engine that, like, you know how in LFS the car would just lose momentum at the end of the race. I'm not sure they do that in iRacing, but the car was down top speed, definitely, but I don't know if it was due to aero damage or real engine damage.
I believe it'd probably be aero damage. I know you can damage the engine enough to where it will be slower, but most of the time it's aero damage that you experience, I believe.
I think so too. You know, we were checking the replay right now because we did a driver swap in between, so we had to check 2 replays to see the temperatures, and they all look fine. So why would the car just blow out of nowhere? I don't know.
Yeah, seems a bit strange. I know that if your front end's damaged, it can block the radiator up enough to where your engine can't blow, unfortunately.
That's a shame, obviously. And where were you guys before that? I know you were definitely in the top half of the field, weren't you?
I mean, I forgot to mention we had towing bug at the first stop, so we lost like probably we went from 25th to like 40th or 45th by barely losing like 30 seconds or so. Yeah, but I guess we all have to deal with that. I hope they fix it with the next update. Hopefully.
Yeah, the next week's update hopefully fixes that. No, any other issues that could be coming about. I know, thankfully, we didn't have a team join and they had the wrong car or the wrong number. Everybody had the right number. Everybody had the right car, and that was great to see.
So your team finished 11th in the first race of the season. How was that? That was really, in such a competitive field, that's a really, really good result.
Road America was awesome. I mean, we knew it's going to be tied with qualifying, and we qualified, I think, like 30th or so, or 34th, something like that. And I was happy with that because it was like, I don't know how many cars within a second, and not even counting Enzo, who was like 4 or 5 tenths faster than everybody else. And, well, I mean, the pace was good, and we didn't do any mistakes, so we ended up like 10th with like 20 or 30 minutes to go, and then we had a disconnect, and we didn't get a tow. I'm sure it happened to other teams as well. So we ended up being 11th at the end, which was okay.
Yeah, definitely lots of points. So tell us a bit about the team. Obviously, you have a long history. I remember you guys when you were doing Live for Speed things. How are you a group of friends, or are you sort of all over the place, or how do you guys know each other?
Well, most of the guys are in Greece. Alamaris is in Australia. I'm in Germany. Yeah, that's about it. Most of us know each other from the early LFS days. Yeah, we came together. We enjoyed driving LFS at the time. We all had a passion for endurance racing, and yeah, so at some point we decided to take it serious. And
Probably yes. And we just had a collision between NX Racing Yellow and I think that was Radicals on line 2 into 130R. NX Racing Yellow ended up in the wall, down in 39th position, unfortunately.
do you guys actually do replays this round?
Yes, we do. There's just some little issues with it sometimes. We have done 1 or 2.
Yeah,
but
we reserve it for bigger.
yeah.
I remember when you guys were, I can't remember if you were doing if you did MOE back in LFS, but you guys always used to go with the FXR, one of the more difficult cars.
Hellenic? I think Hellenic was XRR.
Oh, was it? Oh, am I getting
You're
it
thinking of TDRT, which Glacier Racing, we just saw Yoni Hagner get out of the car. He raced for TDRT in LFS MOE.
Getting all my teams mixed up.
We did definitely field an FXR with Moe, but I think the last Moe was an XRR. I'm not sure, but we did switch at some point. Yeah.
I remember y'all's XRR GT2 car, the red and blue car.
I think that was the season with Dodgy Exa, the one that we had edited so you could do GT1.
Oh, GT0 is what you're thinking.
I think the one with the modified Exa was the one where we ran the XRR for the first time. So yeah,
such a fun car.
I was just telling Deco, you don't have to bother with our last names. It's fine if you if you just call anyone with the first names. Nobody's gonna argue about that.
No, I mean we do it for laughs now. Really, I imagine it's quite entertaining to hear people completely destroy everyone's names. And it seems like I think there is a higher concentration of difficult names here than anywhere else. I've never seen so many difficult names. But that's my own personal struggle. So which of the races coming up this season, which one are you most looking forward to?
I am genuinely terrified from Bathurst.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do whatever's possible to not race in that race because it's just crazy there. Especially with a grid like this so tight, I don't want to do that. Other than that, obviously Spa. I mean, it's the most important one. It's got double points, and it's an awesome track to run.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Just over a month away, that one. So before you go, any people you want to thank, any sponsors or websites you want to plug?
No, again, I want to thank you guys because without you, this wouldn't be possible, and it's awesome. It's a blast. I'm happy we're back with another season of Moy, and I hope there's a lot more to come.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, that was Christos from Hellink Racing Team. Out of the race, unfortunately, but back for Spa, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, guys, man.
Thank you.
So we are now 4 hours and 12 minutes of the way through the race, lap 122 for the lead, and the lead is currently held by Inex Racing Red, Jake Sturgius. He is 10 seconds ahead, or nearly 11 seconds ahead of Iberica's Julian Rodriguez Moreno, and in third is Team Redline's Christian Simchek. Fourth currently is GT Ross SST Silver.
Yes, we'll see the top three. Currently, three completely different cars. BMW leading, Roof second, and McLaren third. Have the positions list currently at the bottom of the screen. On screen, you will also see the battle between, what is this, New World Sim Sport 2, currently passing the number 108 car, which unfortunately their team name.
Sports 3.
Yes.
Behind them, we've got Gav Mason and Gotta Go Fast. Not seen them for most of the race actually. They were pretty prevalent in the first round of the season, doing some pretty entertaining driving, but this time around they've had some issues. But they are still here.
Something in the first or second stint must have happened because they dropped way back. Surprised they're up to where they are currently, which isn't, well, down 49th. Last time I saw them, they were in the 30s, so not quite sure what's happened.
They had on lap 71, they had a 5-minute lap. So that was during Jack Sedgwick's stint. I think he double stinted.
Didn't roll.
Yeah, Gav Mason's been in the car since lap 96. So, but yeah, they're still on for some points at least. In 49th position, they are. They're over a minute behind the car ahead. So yes, this might well be their position come the end of the race.
Very, very, very far back.
Meanwhile, ahead of them, and you're currently looking at that, is Last Lap Motorsports versus Lit Motorsports. That's the car ahead, the McLaren, and at the inside goes the roof of Derek Murray, who takes that position around the outside of the following corner.
Yeah, we saw Derek Murray drive for Last Lap Motorsports last race. Wow, he's really down on straight line speed. We could see that there. But last race, he drove for Last Lap Motorsports, qualified the car, same thing this race as well. Qualified good and also raced extremely well. Probably the best driver on their team. I think they finished in the top 15 last race, actually.
We just had a battle up in P8 between cars 7, 2 and 20. That's Pure Racing Team 1, Virgil Racing and Vortex Sim Racing. All those positions have swapped around. Christian Thelo's Vortex is now in 8th. Followed very closely by the roof of Virgil Racing Marcus Johansson.
Yeah, Virgil Racing is very hungry right now to get a good result after the first round. So
Pure lost 2 positions through 130R, we're hearing. And yes, they are somewhat off the pace and have fallen a fair way behind. That's Andreas Almensberger. He's fallen behind these two who are now battling out for that 8th.
I think Pure Racing Team 1, they are doing a very good job without that front end. Just pretty much no bonnet or anything. Obviously, that's
Oh,
not going to be
yes.
good for the air.
Yes, of course, they had their
Aero
incident
point.
earlier.
So I'm guessing that down the back straight, they just had no top speed. So that's possibly why they got passed in 130R. Virtual Racing, though, I wouldn't be surprised to see them overtake here.
Yeah, they're lining it up. They've got to decide where they're going to do it, and they're not going to be here at Spoon. Looks like they're saving it for the next corner, where they already made one position on the previous lap. Can they make it two in a row? And I think they probably will, because they've got a really great run. Marcus Johansson is going to go on to the outside as they go into 130R. That's going to be difficult. How's this going to end?
Hopefully Vortex lifts going in. Yes.
Whoa.
Save it.
Unbelievable. Carried far
watch out
too
for
much
Pure Racing
speed.
team.
Oh, goodness gracious. Marcus Johansson, I don't know how he
This
didn't
is
hit
not a
anyone
good
there.
spot to sit right now. This
No.
is not a good spot.
Oof.
Team Redline.
Someone else lost it. Yeah, Redline nearly lost it as a result. My goodness me, that was close. So yeah, Christian Simchek saw him as he came around the corner, nearly lost it, just got away. So, what do you make of that?
Cow. I don't know. My heart stopped a little bit though. This is just like, I don't know if you were here or not during Road America when a car spun exiting the kink.
Yeah.
And all the cars had to pass it. That was the same moment right there.
Yeah, exactly. That was.
All you're doing is you're looking to your left and you can just see cars flying by you. You can't move yet. You have to wait and just hope they don't hit you.
I mean, the guys driving in this field are good, but there's a certain point where even the best drivers can't avoid a car blindside in the middle of the track.
Exactly.
But yeah, Marcus Johansson ambitiously went around the outside and actually had completed the move, but just turned in too late, carried too much speed, and had an almighty drift. Couldn't quite save it. Yeah, nearly clipped the car he'd been passing, and yes, got away with it to the point that he wasn't out of the race and he had no damage, but he's lost a lot of time.
Yes, he has.
In fact, he lost how many seconds on that last lap? Looks like he lost, about 15 seconds as a result of that spin.
Sure, they're quick enough to make that time back up. They're doing a good job throughout this race. We also have currently on screen the 35, the 60, and the 74. That is all a battle for position. We also have the fourth car in line. I think that's NX Racing yellow. I can't tell, their car is so destroyed.
Yeah. So the car front there is Radicals in line 2. Trinity Motorsports looking at the inside of 130R. Behind them is Flux Racing in P22. And then NX Racing yellow, who's a few laps behind, but they are nonetheless trying to unlap themselves. So it's Vincenzo Amico, Simon Grossman, and then Sebastian Keimel, who tried to pass through the Casio triangle, but was instead passed by the NX Racing yellow car.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that the cars that are missing the front ends are still driving rather decently.
Lots of extra cooling.
I guess. Aero-wise and everything, they should have been much slower.
All these cars are pretty battered, front and rear. It's a sign of a hard race.
Yeah, this is a very tough track. To be honest, all the tracks on the calendar are extremely tough. Spa has a ton of runoff. Coda has a ton of runoff, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your car is going to be clean at the end of the race.
No, I think Coda will be interesting because it's a more modern track. It's a completely different challenge to all the others on the calendar, and I think it'll probably be better for overtaking, but perhaps more forgiving for mistakes.
Yeah, I think the run down the back straightaway will have a lot of overtaking going on. It's gonna blow up my off-track system though. So many people are gonna be going off track.
Yeah.
Just want to note that the Iberica Racing team have closed the gap a little bit to NX Racing Red, as we just saw the Radical Online 2 car go off a little bit.
Yeah, and that's allowed the Trinity Motorsport Simon Grossman to go through on the inside for 130R. So he's got it slowed down just just going to that left-hander.
Oof,
They-
we just saw NX Racing Yellow sideways in the background as well.
Yeah, obviously inspired by the massive skid marks left by the cars on Virgil Racing on the previous couple of laps ago.
Yes. See Team Redline currently in this gaggle of cars, trying to lap their way through. Now we have the 74 attempting to make a move on Radicals Online 2. Flux Racing team, that is, number 74. Also, for anyone low on screens or anything like that, the live timing page, instead of doing mastersofendurance.net/live, you can also do /live timing. And it's just the live timing, and it fits actually quite nicely on a phone, whether it be sideways or straight up and down, or vertical, horizontal, I should say. Fits quite nicely. So if anyone's short on screens, that's a good way of doing it.
When I do these employee releases, I plug up a second monitor just in case.
Yeah, I have a second monitor right now, but for broadcasting and everything, I wouldn't even want a print screen right now. Everything that's open.
That would be a slight disaster.
So currently, Team Redline getting in the middle of this battle just a little bit.
And Radicals Online, a little off.
Oh, and that's allowed Flux Racing 2 by. Or Flux
Yes, it
Racing,
has.
sorry, not Flux Racing 2. It's Radicals Online 2. As you can see, there's a bunch of cars currently going down this straightaway.
Yeah, the admins getting a couple comments about car 35, the Radicals Online team.
Definitely letting everybody by now. It's a Virgil Racing car there as well, trying to make up time after their spin. Unfortunately, they just got passed by all these cars. Now they have to overtake them all again, so they're going to lose some extra time here. They're actually very close to being in a battle for position. We'll go to them now. The car directly in front of them is actually for position. So number 12, AB Racing car. AB Racing Silver to be exact. I forgot they have 3 cars in the field.
Through the Degners. Going a little wide on the run down to 2. Degner. Just up ahead of this. Also, IRC, reporting IRC that Phoenix Motorsports, Jose Almeida, catching that gaggle just up ahead. And Virgil Racing, Marcus Johansson, running a little wide on the entry to spoon his cars up ahead. Slow down.
The roof's very sensitive here on rear tires. Need to be real careful. And they've already had that big spin. Somehow the car still has no damage. Now they're possibly making a move here. Nope.
By the way, as an aside, just found out that the number 4 car, R4R Motorsports, both are in the same room and swapping drivers in just the physical chair.
And for people who don't think they actually did, they did send a video of it actually happening. So yes, they are swapping and physically in their chair.
That happens every once in a while.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
What was
Well,
it?
these guys are actually brothers, Sam Michaels and Scott Michaels. But you're thinking of Marius Gollenbeck and Martin Krunk.
Yeah, I think they did that in, what, 2010 or 2011 in MMA?
I think it was before that. I think it was the 2008, or no, 2009-2010 season.
I remember they posted a video. Quite interesting.
Yep. I know this because I overtook them at the beginning. They said my name wrong.
What they say, Diaz?
Nope. You remember in LFS we had just your first initial,
Yep.
and they had a brain lapse and didn't call me Phil, so they just saw the Spanish last name, so they
Pablo
said Pedro.
Diaz.
Nope, Pedro. Oh man, Jorgen Kursk. He's watched that video so many times he won't let me live it down.
I miss Jorgen Kirsch. So, Virgil Racing and AB Racing Silver have negotiated the lap traffic. Virgil
Oh, there's a
Racing
car
getting good
stuck on the
run.
left side there.
That is a slow car off to the
That's
side
Phoenix.
of the road.
Isn't that Phoenix?
Is Monster Energy Endurance that has
Oh.
decided to mate with the wall, essentially.
Yeah, they need to be really careful on getting back to the pits here. They should almost do a tow.
Yep. So AB Racing has lost the ninth position to Marcus Johansson for now, as they head into the Casio Triangle.
Yeah, Marcus now has about 13 seconds to get back up to Vortex Racing. Get back to where he was before that big spin.
Car 25, Alexander Lacroix for Monster Energy Endurance. That car is grabbing something fierce. He's on the inside of the track as it crosses over just before 130R. And but he's got enough runoff on the inside of 130R, staying off in the grass. If he can get to the triangle, he should be able to kind of cut across, as long as he does it at a safe point. Once he gets up here, if he can just kind of walk it across to the driver's right side of the track and use the extra runoff there.
He's doing a good job so far. All right, you can cut through there. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Now he needs to just basically go all the way across.
Yep.
And yep. I don't think iRacing will most likely not fix that. Hopefully no one enters the pits right now.
He taking out a couple cones, makes it into the pit entry.
Okay. Most likely all that, and iRacing might just say, hey guys, we're done. Too much damage. Because that is a lot of damage to that car. Also want to flip
Again, no
to
fast tow.
JCL Sim Racing in the number 19. Currently directly behind Direct Clutch Motorsport.
Battle for
All of them,
P12.
actually.
Running up to Spoon Curve. GCL Sim Racing to the inside. Clears them.
It's a great move
Makes
there
that
on the
look
inside.
easy.
Yeah. It's bright yellow wheels. Oof.
Coming up on 40 laps remaining in this 173 lap, 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka.
Oh, we have an accident, turn one. Big accident.
That
David
is
Martinez.
Crax Racing Team.
Whoa, and he rejoins the track a little dangerously there. Looked like him and the number 35 of Radicals Online 2 got together.
And that was
Just
a battle.
right as it was happening. Yes, it was. One of those situations where you go into turn one, your car washes wide for the center of turn one. Or I don't know if people may call it turn 1 and 2. And you wash out a little wide, and then you want to cut back in, and someone sticks their nose there.
Yeah, it looks like they both. Looks like Radicals looked like they were giving enough. And I thought they might have been a little lower down the track than they actually were.
Yeah, all those cars are pretty much a battle for position, actually. There's about 5 cars, 6 cars, 5 cars. Apologies, I was right the first time. 6 cars. All within about 4 seconds of each other. Also want to note the lead battle. I forgot about them. Looks like NX Racing Red has lost a little bit of time. I believe last time we saw them about 10-11 second lead, and now it's down to about 6 seconds. So the Iberica Racing car, yes, they do have fresher tires and whatnot. That might be playing into it. Last time I believe it got around 6 seconds like this, and NX Racing Red made their pit stop. However, their next pit stop is their final pit stop. So it's about another 10 laps, and we'll see NX Racing Red into the pits for their final pit stop. And then I would say maybe 2 to 3 laps more, maybe even more than that, and then we'll see Iberica Racing Team into the pits as well.
Had Kyle Birney for USCSR Team Frenzy off, well off into turn 1. Just keeping my eyes on a battle for the 22nd position between 80 or 80, team name, car 80, 22nd, and being chased by Sergio Pirelli and the Ham Endurance Team, the 23, car number 78. Looks like I've got a stint length bugging in on the tracking system.
I'm guessing the number 80 is longer.
41 laps, it claims.
Yeah.
Which would be a feat in itself.
Looks like some cars it's not picking up their pit stops each and every time.
And Pirelli feigns a look to the inside, heading into Spoon. Had a
And
close run in the draft on the way to turn 1 at the beginning of this lap.
It's a tough to pass track. This is actually
This is a whole group for position. Those cars
exactly.
you see behind are for 25th, 26th. Very last car at the back is a lapped car, but there's about 5 cars in this train, all in battle for
Last Lap
position.
Motorsports running wide there.
Speaking of Last Lap Motorsports, a team that we used to think would never, ever, ever get into MOE, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing the performance they've got. As soon as some of their main drivers started getting a little better, they started attracting some good drivers. Now they're up here running in a decent top 30 spot right now in this race.
They finished top 15 at Road America. They're doing a pretty good job. Also, another battle is the number 9 Pure Racing Team 2 car, number 74 Flux Racing Team. They've been actually battling for quite a few laps now. I think even before the last pit stop. A whole stint with each other, essentially. Also want to note that there's a battle for the 5th position, and the number 16 Radicals Online car's rear end is definitely damaged. Not quite sure. This hasn't happened recently, necessarily.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, they're being chased down by Richard Hampstead in the Team TTL McLaren, the orange car that you are currently looking at, in fact. The last few laps, Hampstead has... Well, the last lap he was a second faster, so we'd expect an overtake.
Yeah, relatively soon here. Looks like either... I'm guessing that Radicals got some damage. Because of that, they've been a little bit slower, mainly going to be in a straight line. Since it's rear wing damage, they might have lost some rear downforce. In the real world, I would say yes. In iRacing, who knows?
It's all alternative physics.
Yeah, do a pretty good job. Can't really knock them too much. Physics are pretty much there. The tires need some work every now and then. They have some nice degradation and everything now. where the tires really fall off at the end of the stint. So can't really knock the physics of iRacing. They've been doing a pretty good job over the years.
Yeah, and it's so insanely difficult to get that right. I mean, Formula One teams struggle trying to simulate wind tunnels with billions of dollars. So iRacing trying to make a physics engine. Speaking of iRacing, well, we're looking at it right now, and Richard Hamilton almost had a move going into 130R, and is going to give it a go into the chicane instead. That's the brave one,
there,
and he did it.
Oh yeah, I think Radicals gave him a little help there, just kind of slowing down early. Know that Richard's been flying for them, so I know Dylan Sharman, if he's still awake, hopefully you're still awake, Dylan, you should be quite happy that you are now in the 5th position. Also want to note that Jonathan Salhani for Radicals Online, that is also an Australian. So thanks Australians for help populating the field. Props to you guys for staying up late or waking up early and doing the race.
So we've got a battle sort of on its way. Car 80 or 80 even team. Ham Endurance and Crack Racing team.
And also the car and the last car in that train as well, Marlboro Motorsport. It's also for position.
Yep, and Dorelli for Ham Endurance team going around the inside, and there's 3 cars behind. They're going 3 wide. Are they going to make it 4 wide into turn 1? Marlboro Motorsports sticks about it, 3 wide, side by side, gone.
What a save! Oh no! Oh, Nicky Mecki from Marlboro Motorsport is off. He came out worst in that. Actually helped David Martinez save his car.
Yeah, I think Martinez. Yeah, Martinez definitely pushed the issue there, which is funny because we saw him have a little slide very similar to that a few laps ago with the number 35 car. And unfortunately, it looks like the number 77 of Marlboro Motorsport got the worst of this.
Yeah, 3 wide into turn 1. It was unlikely to work. It almost did.
Yeah, I think Derek and Murray, Last Lap Motorsports, I think he was just smiling there. Well, after everything happened, to make sure he didn't have contact first. So avoid all that and gain a couple positions. This actually is a battle for position, the car directly in front of him. 8 or 80 team.
Yep, Derek Murray there. Looking for P22, I'm going to say. Hard to tell. No, P25 actually. Yeah, it's P25. In fact, he runs a little bit wide. Just got over that one. So he's not close enough this time around, but he's definitely setting himself up for a pass maybe on the next lap. Run wide again.
They're dropping off a little bit here. I don't know why. I have a little shout out. Just saw something on Twitter. It's pretty cool. The Iberica Racing team watching, I believe it's the Iberica Racing team watching the MOE race. Have live timing up on a laptop, TV screen with the broadcast running. Pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a proper party. There ain't no party like a iRacing party.
Pastor, will you give us the money to fly everyone in and just do a massive LAN party for the 24 hours of Spa?
Oh, well, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? We'll have to charge a lot.
You won't charge because you're rich.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was amazingly rich, yeah.
Yeah. That was random, yeah. You just gained a lot of money. Did you know that?
I'll try and marry
I
into wealth
was-
and then get back to you when I'm
I
married.
was trying to make it feel good. Don't forget, if you'd like to get in touch with us here at MOE, do us on Twitter at Masters of Vindu. Use the hashtag IRMOE. Also, irc.gameservice.net, channel MOE, and Facebook, Masters of Endurance. YouTube.com/Masters of Endurance for the entire broadcast on demand sometime later this evening once it's all done.
And on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/Masters Endurance, and on Pinterest, pinterest.com/Masters Endurance, and all the other student friends as well. MySpace.com.
Mr. Michael Booth is very worried about his top 8 friends.
He's friends with Tom though,
Yeah, isn't
in real life.
Let's see here. We have. Yeah, I totally just cut you guys off.
No, fair enough.
That's fine.
Let's see. We have some interesting things going on here. We have. Let's see. Trying to look at this stuff right. If I see this correctly, Julian for Bierka Racing Team's about 5.5 seconds behind Jake Sturgis in X Racing Red. So about time to start thinking about the final pit stop. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I think
And we also have Team Redline, who are 24 seconds back from the Bierka Racing Team. I don't know. Enzo's fast, but
that looks like too much. That
yeah,
does
that's
look like too
pushing it.
much.
I mean, I know they're already smiling. They're already pretty happy anyways. Their toughest championship contender currently is moving their way back through the field. They're in the 28th spot, going to SimSport. We also have to watch out. NX Racing Red's in the lead. They finished third at Road America in round 1. So
Yeah, I mean, it's likely that Redline will, if they finish how it is, they will come out of this meeting in the lead, but not very far in the lead, because yeah, NX Racing will have a fair few points.
yeah, actually, would they be in the lead? I think we're going to have to need our man on the calculator calculating everything, Michael Booth.
I assume they would be in the lead because of their 2 pole positions.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
So car 52, Derek Murray just passed Arthur Hermont, the 80 or 80 car, 8 or 80 car number 80, in fact, the P24. But he's coming back at him. That BMW appears to have much higher top speed.
Yeah, I think Derek Murray's damaged here for sure. That front end is just basically like a snowplow, but for air, slowing him down.
Doesn't seem so bad in the corners though.
Yeah, we saw. I mean, last round LLM, Last Lap Motorsports, were very quick. I think, but they also didn't have hardly any damage on the car. This round they do, and thankfully most of this track is just corner after corner, so they don't have to worry about their top speed too much. But the 2 areas that they do, you can see it quite blatantly that they're losing a lot of time. Or significantly, not blatantly.
Yeah, the 2 leaders, the leader in X Racing Red, Jake Sturgis, 5.4 seconds ahead of Julian Rodriguez Moreno in the Iberica Racing Team car. The gap came down by half a second on the last lap, as Moreno put in a 1:59.17, whereas Sturgis put in a 1:59.6. So yeah, half a second on 1 lap. And how far away from pit stops? Not very long.
Yeah, I think we'll see NX Racing Red and within the next, I would say 5 laps. Probably, I'm looking at lap 143, I think is their magic number for when they'll pit. Iberica Racing Team, I'm not actually sure how long their stint is currently.
Iberica apparently is 22.
So they can go about 5 more laps further.
Yeah.
Five laps of fuel. I mean that's quite a bit of time. Plus they'll have fresher tires as well for that final stint.
How long does putting fuel in take?
I don't know, altogether for 100 liters, probably close to 30 seconds, I would guess. I'm not actually sure. I don't know the actual refuel rate, just fuel alone.
Yeah. So you mean basically the fuel stop will be shorter, maybe
Yes.
maybe a tenth or more shorter, and if it's so
More
that's
than
a
a
few
tenth.
seconds. Yeah. So that's a few seconds off straight away.
Yes.
So yeah, more like a fifth actually, and yeah, and then having more fuel on board. Oh, this is gonna be really really tight, especially because at the end, America will also have the fresher tyres right at the end of the race.
Also, Team Redline, I believe, their stint's actually pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, so they can go quite a few laps as well. So who knows? Maybe in if Enzo Benito jumps back in the car, maybe he can make another charge like he did last round. If NX Racing Red and Birka Racing Team start battling, who knows?
Yeah, it's not over yet. I think this is definitely a 3-horse race. Redline possibly the outsiders, but yeah, if Enzo can perform miracles like he did in qualifying, and as you say in the previous round, there's no reason why they won't be there at the end. But yeah, stay tuned basically. Stay tuned because in about an hour's time, we're going to be looking at one heck of a battle.
I'm looking through the field here. I want to go to the brothers. I don't actually know. Is it Sam Michaels or Scott Michaels in the car? I don't know right now. But the number 4 car, R4 Motorsport, it's Scott Michaels currently in the car, is just behind the number 70, about a half second back. Car directly in front of him, you see he has no front bonnet. The Kraut Racing car, I believe. Number 70.
Cool Motorsports just making their way through. Alexander Voss attempting to unlap himself put a lap on Arthur Herman.
Yeah, I don't think Core Motorsport is going to gain as much time as we thought, simply because everybody else also is going to be short pitting. And then also the fact of they're 40 seconds behind Team Redline, and that's the next car in front of them. So
yeah, you'd think they were probably relatively secure. Yeah, they're very secure in fourth. So it would have to go pretty badly wrong for them not to finish fourth, which is a great result.
Yes, definitely has 2 fourth place finishes in a row. I think that'll knock him to third in the championship for sure.
Yeah, it's
we
all about
see
consistency.
R4 on the inside making the move.
Yeah,
Also, we have directly in front of them, you can see the Last Lap Motorsports car. Once again, behind 8 or 80.
Yeah, he seems to always be behind Ada already. He's never not looking at the back of that BMW.
I think by the end of the season, people are going to be battling the same ones every single race. Oh,
yeah. That is a tight squeeze.
Yes.
And that is extremely well played.
Wow.
That's Derek Murray fitting into a roof-sized gap in his roof up the inside.
If I had voice activation, I'd put on a clap for him. That's pretty great.
So yeah, Arthur Herman lost a fair amount of time from that. He was probably taken a little bit by surprise there. Derek
probably didn't think there was enough room.
No, definitely not. It's because he was sort of straddling the middle of the track. He didn't really make a decision either way, and that's what indecision gets you. You get past.
Now, I believe last time we looked at the lead battle, it was about 5 seconds. Now it's 5.5. I think just traffic playing a role here, like it seems to do.
Yeah, the gap's been pretty stable for the last couple of laps, or has been maintained about the same. Yeah, 5.6 now. Yeah.
I think the key thing for NX Racing Red here is when they do their final pit stop, they gotta hope that they have clear track and they can put down as many fast laps as possible in order to, build a gap enough to where this final stint, when Iberica Racing does their shorter fuel and whatnot, that they can come out ahead. And once they come out ahead, you just have to hope you can defend enough to keep the lead.
Basically, if anyone gets anywhere near them towards the end of the race, they're going to have problems. So yeah, it's simply a case of, I don't know, just having out-and-out pace. Because once you're in the slipstream, you're done.
Yeah, it's really weird because yes, Iberica have the fuel advantage. However, in X Racing Red, they're going to have the tire advantage. So who knows? It might end up evening out. Maybe 5 seconds made on track and 5 seconds for fuel. I'm not really sure. So it could end up being 5.5 seconds once they exit the pits, and we saw a car just go off in front.
Oh, Arthur, hold on.
That was Hugo Barbosa for AB Racing Black.
Just looking back to Arthur Hamont, who actually almost repassed the last Top Motorsport car a lap later after he was overtaken, and then got bumped by the R4R Motorsport car.
I got a little bump. Won't be happy about that. Just want to take note to number 113 car. New to the series this race. Actually, I think they signed up right after the first race ended.
They were obviously convinced by our amazing broadcast. We want to be a part of that, they said.
Well, they're doing a good job currently in the 7th position.
Iberica into the pit lane.
Wait.
Out of
sure you
Oh. Wow.
Wow. Oh, so both leaders currently. Well, this is going to decide it.
That's really interesting. That is.
And in extra. I thought they were still out.
So
Yeah,
that's
this is the lead battle right here.
Yeah. Well, we were not expecting that at all. So this is the last pit stop of the race for both of these guys. They're going to be equal on tyres and fuel for the end of the race.
Yeah, I hate to sit in the pits, guys. However, this is the lead battle.
Yeah.
As you can see, both of them right there. I could do that actually. We're going to go on board with Jake Sturgis, an X Racing red car. Whenever my brain can find it.
Car
Actually, they've switched. Isaac Price is now in the car.
Oh.
This is interesting.
So yeah, sitting on board with that NX Racing red car, you can see the Porsche, the Iberica car ahead, up on the jacks.
Yep. Next Racing Red slowly revving their engine, just dropped 2 to go.
And
Iberica's
away goes the
Iberica
Iberica
down and
team.
away.
That is,
Wow.
they've made some time up there. They've definitely made a couple of seconds.
Made about 2.2 seconds back right now.
Yeah, I'd say. So yeah, so now it's Moreno versus Isaac Price. This is going to be interesting.
With 30 laps to go.
Yeah, exactly 30. So I'm quite surprised that they pit early like that. I guess they wanted to see how much time they could save in the pits. Hopefully they calculated just right. To where they just added the fuel that they needed. Oh, there's a spin just in front.
Who was that?
That's
Monster Energy again.
Monster, yep. Alexander LaCroix. And couldn't tell if there was someone else involved in that also.
That's the core motorsport car now you see just in between these two. Technically it is a battle for position. I'm sure that they'll understand that they don't have the freshest of tires while the others do. And they'll make way when a Iberica Racing team catches. Noticing that this is potentially the battle for the lead.
Oh, Isaac Price had a huge escape with that spin from the Monster Energy car.
They were the ones that went into the gravel, correct?
No,
No.
They went?
Isaac stayed on track, but he had to just slam on the brakes.
Yeah, I just went back and had a look at that. Yes, you're right. He had to dive up the inside. He was going to do the outside, but then he went to the inside at the last second.
And,
that would have been the end of the race.
Alexander Voss from Core Motorsports in 4th had to go around the outside. He's the one who went off into the gravel.
Ah. Well, this is big to see if Isaac Price can pull away from Birka Racing Team here. Ham Endurance Team instantly moving out of the way. Very nicely done.
So we
Of
know.
course.
Go ahead.
And of course, too, been racing for almost 6 hours by the time the race comes to an end. So maybe some fatigue coming into play.
I see that NX Racing Red, they did a driver change that final stint. I wasn't expecting that actually, but Isaac's jumped into the car, and I'm guessing that maybe they think that he's stronger over a race stint.
Yeah,
than
he
Jake
did
Sturgis.
he did a really solid job in his stints in the middle of the race because he maintained the gap really nicely. So I guess, well, we're going to see how well he can fight.
Exactly, and we have Julian, who we know from the GT3 series as well. Very, very quick driver, and most likely their fastest in big racing as well. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, Jake Sturgis is, on average, a faster driver over his couple of stints that he's done. But Isaac Price, just probably about maybe half a second on average slower.
This could also be the amount that each driver has driven. Maybe Jake has done 3 stints, and now Isaac is finishing up his 3rd stint by doing this one here. We would just like to say that Core Motorsports, yes, they have the shorter fuel stint, but as you can see, they're currently behind, and they still have to make another pit stop. So they look safe actually in the 4th position, because Richard Hampstead for Team TTL also has to pit. He's about 40 seconds back.
So Team Redline leads, but they're only 41 seconds ahead, and will be pitting in the next few laps, and will fall back to 3rd. And if Enzo Benito takes over, we'll see him make up some ground, but probably not enough.
Yeah, we're going to see, I think what we're going to see from this is there's about 40-second gap between the top 2 cars. So I think if they can, as long as they keep it to, Christian gets sideways there. We just saw that on the stream.
Previous lap, he was held up at the Casium Triangle by a lapped car, which cost him about 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, we're looking at the times here, about almost 3 seconds they lost last lap alone to NX Racing Red, which is huge.
So the last pit 27 laps ago, so they're going to go, what, 2 or 3, 4 more laps?
They
the racing car spun.
They could definitely go 2 or 3. Oh, we see a spin in the background, Virtual Racing. And 130R. Oh, and they backed it into the wall. It's not good.
So if they pit in another 3 or 4 laps, they're only going to need, what, 23, 24 laps of fuel? Is that going to save, how much time is that going to save? Having to take 7 less laps worth of fuel?
I'm not sure. I'd say maybe 7-8 seconds. Maybe. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's now down to 39.7 seconds from 1st to 2nd.
So Isaac Price had a bit of a nightmare, and is still having a bit of a nightmare lapping these cars. Lost a lot of time, but Moreno's going to have to go through exactly the same thing. It just depends where he catches them.
This is always rough to see.
Well, now he's directly behind. He's only a couple of seconds behind now, because the cars he was lapping either were fairly easy to pass, and one pitted. So Isaac Price now going for the inside through turn 1.
Had a car coming out of the pits and passing one on the inside.
Whew. Yes, now Moreno has a problem with Hampstead, who's come out in 5th position.
Oh,
one of the quickest drivers in the field. But he's been let through already.
Yep. Then the next car is that number 109 car, which we seen
talked about before,
in the last few laps.
I think, however, David Martinez will move out of the way. He did move for Isaac going into turn 1. So as soon as Moreno catches the rear of his car, I'd probably see it before the hairpin, if not directly after the hairpin here.
Yeah, awkward to get him in the deck.
Well, never mind.
Or he does that.
Better watch out on the rejoin for TTL, yes. Oh, and they're going to spin. Oh, Core Motorsports. Oh, that was very, very close there. Core Motorsports. currently running in the 4th position. No, they didn't want to see that.
Yeah, there was about 2 meters between them.
Oh, and there's a gaggle of cars now. Looks like the car is very, very damaged here. Gonna have to
That's
take it
all our
easy around the
friends
track.
for the mid-20th zone. There's the
Yeah.
23rd, 24th.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
NX
NX
Blue.
Racing Blue, yeah.
And chasing down 8 or 80.
The car
And our
directly
lap
behind
car,
him as well.
Marlboro Motorsports.
The 49 car also is in this battle. Actually, there's a lot. The number 18 Coanda Simsport car, and also the number 22. They're all within 5 seconds. Oh, you could see a huge
That
gaggle
is
of
a
cars.
gaggle.
That did someone just call a safety car or something?
I don't know what's going on.
And we didn't know about it. There are no safety cars in this series, so
Thank goodness for that. As we see NX Racing Blue taking a look each and every side here. Now, see, this team is called 8 or 80, so this is number 8 battling the 80. What's going on here? I'm a little confused. Bad joke.
well, it's
Bad joke.
easy. It's easy. You're in Florida.
What,
They all
bad
belong
jokes
everywhere.
are in Florida? Or Florida is a bad joke? By the way, I just want to say it's December, and yes, it's still 80 degrees outside. Fahrenheit, that is.
Wow.
And Celsius, that is, it's pushing 30.
Florida has 2 seasons: summer and hurricane.
It has a winter season. It just so happens to be like a week at a time, and it might happen like 2 or 3 times a year.
As soon as one flake of snow falls. Oh, and we have
Oh, here we go.
NX Racing Blue. Looked like 8 or 80 got it a little wrong going into the Dunlop curve.
Easy to run wide there, especially if you're on any form of older tires.
And it'll let Cali Ruocla of CTC Racing try and close in.
While all this is happening, Coanda Simsport did pit early to hopefully jump these people here who possibly have not pit yet.
Oh, and Marlboro Motorsports nearly running off. A little bit of
Also-
phantom contact just in the back part of this.
Important stage here. Team Redline's currently in the pits. Didn't get to check what the gap was before they entered the pits. I'm going to say roughly 36 seconds or so.
Timing
Yeah.
last gap was 36.4.
Oh, okay, sweet. So currently we see NX Racing Red coming out of the final corner, so they're definitely not going to be close. That's for sure. Enzo jumps into the car for Team Redline.
Ah, okay, that'll be a quick last stint. So, yeah, Moreno is just over 2 seconds behind the leader at this point. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's gradually coming down. In fact, 1.5 now.
Yeah, Enzo still hasn't taken off just yet.
There might be a damage repair if they
I
didn't
don't
turn
think-
it off. 'Cause
No,
they
you
did
don't have to
rear-end.
turn it off. You just take off and it goes. It's not like Lift for
that's
Speed
true.
where you have it like that. I know what you were thinking though. They were
Unless
going to
there
be
was some
20-something
required
seconds back.
Which
It
I
says their
think-
pit time is complete. Hopefully they didn't get it. Oh wait, no, it's still running.
Car's come off the jacks a few times.
Hopefully they didn't get some form of tow bug. They could have just now.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they have. This pit stop's going
He's
for a
rolling
long
now.
time. He's rolling. Okay. Yeah, Core Motorsports coming out or going into the final little chicane now.
That pretty
They
much.
haven't-
Oh, yes, they've lost a lot of time to call then in that case.
Yeah, I think Core still has to pit though. Oh no, they've already
No,
pitted.
call's
Yeah,
already
they-
done. They pitted last lap.
Yeah, so unfortunately Enzo's going to be 50 seconds behind the lead battle. So,
So, 2-horse race.
yeah,
As
So
we
have-
expected, really, I suppose.
couple other battles here for position going on in the top 15 or so. Right now is the number 19. Oh, which no. Been testing in the number 54 Team Camaro car. Defending going into turn 1 there. Just so everybody knows, the lead battle or the lead gap currently is 2 seconds between NX Racing and Berica Racing Team.
Both the drivers in the lead, the top 2 positions, had entirely clean laps this last lap round. so we get a proper idea of their pace relative to each other. As they cross the line, the lap difference, well, they were about, Moreno was a third of a second quicker over a clean lap, making the gap 1.949 between the two of them. I'm being told that Iberica was actually held up on that lap, right at the beginning of the lap, so I must have missed that. But other than that, it was a clean lap.
Rather clean lap. Yep.
Yeah.
Gap down to about 1.7 up there. This battle here. Looked like the JCL Sim Racing car was pretty good in the end of this lap, especially 130R in the chicane compared to the Team Camaro car. Just something to note before, it looked like the end of stint is when Iberica Racing really started to catch NX Racing Red. So it'd be interesting to see at the end of this stint whether it was simply because they were faster end of stint or it was just fully because of the tires. So it's going to be an interesting battle here to the end. Ooh, it's been testing again, defending. Oh, is JCL Sim Racing trying to go around the outside there? Kept sticking their nose out.
Just looking back at the, relative to each other, Isaac Price and Rodriguez Moreno are actually very equal over like for like stints in their previous stints. So it's going to take a real big push for Moreno to actually catch him. And the gap is down to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. Some traffic. Oh, for sure, as well as Coanda Simsport trying to get around. I believe this is the Lit Motorsports team. Number 3 car, I believe, for them. As Coanda makes their way around now. Move them up to the 24th position. They've already done their final pit stop and they're trying to run down any more cars in front of them. Back to the battle between JCL Sim Racing and Team Camaro. About a quarter of a second in between them.
Gap is maintained the same at the front, 1.5 as they are halfway around the lap. Oof, this is going to be good.
Oh, it's side by side into 130R. Team Camaro had the inside and held it. JCL Sim Racing all over the back.
Yeah, what's that? That's a battle for 12th position, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Soon to be the 11th position, I believe, or I could be wrong. Yep, the Direct Clutch Motorsport number 83 car is currently in the pit, so they just overtook that car to move themselves into the 11th and 12th position.
1.2 at the front.
So we're down, almost breaking a second, actually, the lead battle. I think Iberica Racing Team now getting a little hint of draft. This is going to be one of those situations, though, where the drivers are going to go all or nothing. That's not good. That's not good.
Well, it depends who you are.
Well, both of them are battling, essentially going to be battling for the championship. NX Racing Red finished 3rd, first round, and the number 10 of Iberica Racing Team, I believe they finished in the top 15 for sure. So I believe it was 12th or 13th they finished.
They finished 12th last time out.
Yep. So the gap now, I got some live interval feed at about 1.3 seconds. JCL Sim Racing now on the inside of Team Camaro, but McLaren's going to have the inside here. Run up to Spoon. JCL has a really good draft as they go. Oh wow, into the grass. Oh, and then run into the back. Looks like they both just overshot the corner. Team Camaro might have got a little help there, however. JCL.
The leaders are about to come into a fair big lump of traffic. 3 cars in fact. But that will happen in about 20 or 30 seconds, I reckon. They're not battling with each other at least, so it's not too bad. They're all on different laps.
Yeah, the traffic's going to play a huge role in what's going to happen here. Unfortunately for them, it's not the sense that they're the faster class, therefore they have the faster car and can overtake easily. It's more of a sense of, everyone has the same car. I have to almost wait for the cars to let me by. Oof. Team Camaro getting actually held up right now by a lapped car.
Right, I think we're about to get a battle for lead this lap. Because Isaac Price made a little bit of a mistake at the 130R, got a little bit held up by the orange stripy car. Whose name?
Orange stripy car.
GT
Yep.
SST orange. There we go. The tiger coloured car. They're great. Yeah, that gap is. It was under a second as they went over the start finish line.
It's currently 0.8. Now they definitely have the draft, so it's as long as they can keep up in the corners, it's only going to close from now on. As we see the 54 and 19R side by side. Sorry about that. Exiting the hairpin, running down to Spoon. McLaren has the inside.
Wow.
This battle's not going to end anytime soon, as they are side by side. They're going in. JCL do take it.
Finally.
And whoa.
Oh no, maybe not.
Wow. Looks like JCL is going to be able to pull away here. Don't think Ben Testing and Team Camaro is going to try any crazy moves.
So just remind you, watching the final 20 laps of the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka Masters of Endurance 2014-2015. It's a battle for the lead. There's under a second in it between Inex Racing Red and Iberica Racing Team. The drivers trying to hustle their cars to the end are Isaac Price for Inex and Julian Rodriguez Moreno for Iberica. It's a 2-horse race for the win, but there are a lot of laps to go, and this gap is just almost slipstream worthy. In fact, I think as they go over the line this time,
it is slipstream worthy for sure. This is one of those things now. Isaac Price is really hoping lap traffic helps him.
Yeah, those 2 cars ahead are lap traffic. They are... Oh, that's going to cause some problems. That's not a good place to be in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Inex Red not able to get past. Still not able to get past. They head into the second element of the S's and on to Dunlop, and still not through. Finally, they've found a gap, and away you go.
Whoa.
Ooh, that was nearly contact.
That was risky.
And Iberica's now being held
Iberica
up.
just held up the same.
Yep, it all equals out.
This isn't good though. If Iberica get held up for Degners, this is not good.
Yeah, the driver there is Cesar Palavecino of Rincon Racing in 42nd position. Has let him through, and the gap maintains pretty much as it was at the start of the lap, so that's worked out okay, I suppose. A little bit tense though. You're riding on board with Rodriguez Moreno for Iberica, so you've got a good eye view of what he's trying to do here.
Also the traffic up ahead that Isaac Price has to deal with as well.
Yeah.
Gained about 2/10 actually in that corner alone. Isaac ran a little wide on entry.
Into Spoon. Still 1 car to lap. That's Tom Valentini for Pure Racing Team 1 in position 16. Should be fairly easy if he pulls over. Although he's not obliged, obviously. Doesn't have to pull over and jump out the way, but it looks like he is. Over to the left as Price gets the slipstream.
Even though he gets it, Iberica still can close the gap quite a bit.
Yeah, we're going to have some proper slipstream onto the straight this time around, assuming that Rodriguez Moreno can get a good exit from this corner.
It certainly does. Both actually do, but Rodriguez running a little wide there. About 3/10 here. See the slipstream will probably bring him down to a 1/10 and a half.
Here we go. Is he going to? No, he's just having a little look. He's not going to go for it, is he?
No. I think he's just showing him. He wants Isaac to make a mistake, but
Yeah.
Isaac's a DWC driver. He's not going to make a mistake anytime soon. Okay, only if this battle... Oh.
So we are now, well, it doesn't even matter what the timing between them. They can almost touch each other as they are about to come up against a couple more lapped cars. But that probably won't cause a problem for another lap or so. The next car is Gav Mason, got to go fast. Motorsports, P46. And look at that. Look how close they are into the hairpin. Really nearly contact between them. That's how close it is.
Yeah, that roof is very, very fast on a low speed. It has lots of rear grip to exit that corner with. Looks like Moreno got it perfectly on entry as well.
Into Spoon.
He keeps taking
Has
a
a
look,
look,
but obviously
yeah.
he's not going to make a move. Oh, it's
Got
a little wide.
That was
weight
his,
on it there.
Yeah, it's because he went too tight initially. And got to go fast. Pulling over, Gav Mason.
Isaac
Ooh.
trying to take the slipstream off of Gav.
Yeah, perhaps not the most effective slipstream.
Definitely aggressive here.
This
Both
is real
drivers.
fast. This is
Yep.
a really, really tense battle to the end. 18 laps still to go, so this is a bit of a defence that Isaac Price is having to mount. But to be fair, he's been holding on for the last 10 laps. So why not for another 20 or 18?
Working the 156th lap of 173 scheduled.
Isaac's actually pulled a little gap there.
Maybe could Rodriguez Moreno just wait for
I
a
don't
few
think
laps? If
I
he
don't
knows
think he
he's got
can.
the pace.
No, I don't think he can simply because the BMW is so much better later in the stint. It's possibly the best car later in the stint. That's one of its big advantages. I think if he has to make a move, he needs to make it within the next 5 to 10 laps. And then at still, you're going to have the BMW right behind you simply because the tires are not going to fall off. We see now Moreno making a little mistake there, gets back on, however.
Taking an alternative look, now looking over the rear spoiler of Isaac Price's NX Racing Red BMW, looking back at Rodriguez Moreno Iberica Racing Team roof as they head into Spoon. Running
Moreno,
a little bit wide.
Yeah. Starting to use up all the track limits.
They're heading towards 3 back markers. Matt Poluski in Velocidade, Noel Lindberg, Pure Racing Team 2, and Arthur Hermant from 880. And then there's a whole gaggle ahead of them.
Well,
and they are
both
going
of
to reach them.
Well, both leaders there going off track a little bit.
Ragged edge, I think we call that.
Yeah, they're both pushing each other pretty well here. They need to watch out though, so they don't exceed the track limits too much.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about this gaggle. They're just going into turn 1 now. There's about, I think, maybe 5 cars together. Yeah, it's a train of about 8, sort of spread out about half a second between each one. So it's going to be a real obstacle course.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here. Isaac's going to be try to be a little aggressive to get a car in between the two, and while Iberica Racing Team is going to be aggressive in the sense of when Isaac and NX Racing Red get held up, Moreno can possibly make a move on them.
Yes, sir.
And look how close it is. Almost a bump almost a bump as the first of those, this Velocity car pulling over, letting them through. Generous.
Just a heads up for other positions. There are a couple cars pretty close together. No real overtakes at this time. The Alpine Pinhope, I almost said Pinto. Wow. For that's AB Racing, has done a pit stop and has fallen back to the 10th position, I think. Oh wait, no, they're not currently doing a pit stop. I'm not quite sure why it says they're in 10th position.
R again for the 157th time. Next car up to lap is the Pure Racing Team 2 car of Noel Lundberg in 15th.
And I will mention that big gaggle that's been here for the last 2 hours for like 22nd and 28th is just on the main street.
Yeah, I think we're about to get a pass. Rodriguez Moreno pulls to the inside, pulls to the outside. Can he try go around the outside? No. Price brakes so late for that first corner. Obviously, he had a little bit of. He can brake later if he needs, I think.
Yeah, I think Isaac almost a late move there.
Yeah,
definitely moved last second.
I think Moreno probably learned a lot from that though.
Yeah,
now he knows exactly how late Price can brake, and perhaps maybe turn one around the outside isn't where he wants to do it. So he'll probably try something else next lap.
I think I don't really want to see a move down at Spoon. That's a very tough one. Obviously, you can't get anything done here at Degner.
Yeah.
Two competitive teams like this, you're not going to see a move at Degner.
The place you can assert yourself is into the Casio triangle. If you place your car right, you can block off any potential comeback and then get a great run for the straight. So that could be the prime spot.
Oof. Yeah, it looks like Isaac tries to get a run out of the corner while Moreno tries to get the run into the corner. And Moreno is probably faster over the course of the actual lap itself. However, Isaac's just trying to get a run out. I don't know. Isaac's a little over the curb.
So that's a Price going past that Pure Racing 2 car.
I think Pure Racing, though, is going to let both cars by.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, they're pulling over. That's nice. Good work. Moreno offline.
That compromised America's entry to 130R.
Yeah. He carried too much speed, hadn't quite got back onto the correct racing line. And
but
Price makes a mistake. Yeah. This could be a really good chance now.
Yeah, I think he was surprised that Moreno made the mistake.
Yeah. And he's pulled over. He's already alongside him, not in the slipstream. They're side by side in the corner, but this time Moreno's on the inside. It didn't work around the outside last time. Battle for the lead. Who's going to brake first? Isaac Price brakes later and hangs it around the outside for the first part and keeps ahead through turn 2.
Wow.
That is impressive. He's got so much grip. That's 2 laps in a row. The 2 leaders have gone side by side into turn 1. And it seems like Price has got it covered whichever way Moreno comes at him. So yes, an alternative strategy is required, I think.
Next 2 cars up ahead. First one is 880. Then next is LLM, Last Lap Motorsports. Also a battle for 27th up just ahead between Trinity Motorsports and R4 Motorsport.
Apologies, by the way, to the viewers if you guys want to see a different battle. I know it is nice to see other battles, but these two are putting on a show here up front.
Ooh, little mistake from Moreno there. He got too tight in the hairpin and ended up losing it over the curves on the inside. An unusual mistake, and one probably maybe nerves related, perhaps.
I think also he wants to try to get a run as best as he could out of the corner. Maybe like a line that Isaac Price has taken to where he's trying to get a run out of the corner. And because of that, it's maybe he lost the rear a little bit, trying to get too much too early.
Yeah.
Pressure pack driving from both of these. I think, well, and we know that Isaac can handle the pressure. We've seen him do it before. He's used to the pressure of MOE.
Oh, and then he just ran off there.
Takes a little safer long run on the tarmac.
Yeah, you can get away with that as long as you just smoothly steer it back on and just skip over the grass and don't do any big movements of your steering wheel. You're normally okay, but It's not the best strategy, I have to say.
Yeah, they're definitely they're losing time by going on track so much like that.
Just note these two are these are the only two who are in contention of the win. Third place, Red Line, are 54 seconds behind. So this really is. There's no way they're going to hold each other up that much over the next 13 laps.
Yeah, unfortunately for
crash.
Red Line, looks like they had a toe bug, so they got pushed back quite a bit. Oh yeah, NX Racing Red gets stuck behind a couple cars here. Whoa, lost
He
it.
lost it. And around the outside goes Moreno, takes the lead. A mistake from Isaac Price hands Moreno the lead. Extraordinary.
Wow.
That's such a strange place for that to happen. But that's not over yet because Price was holding his own and he might come back and try and repass into the lead. The lead has changed. It's Iberica now ahead, but can he stay ahead?
Of course, he'll be the first one to encounter the lap traffic.
Indeed, yeah. Isaac Price has got
And
pretty
it's-
used to that over the last couple of laps, so Moreno has to now think about how he's going to encounter these guys. There's about 8 of them. You can see them. You can see 8 of them in front of these two leaders.
And you're more than willing to let the second guy through pretty easily because you've already let the first guy through pretty easily.
Yeah, so why not let him through? Exactly.
So an uncharacteristic mistake there from Isaac Price. It'll be interesting to see if he can come back. Because he's obviously as fast as Moreno because he's not lost any time since that mistake. So if you're just joining us, well, you're joining at just the right time. We're 12 laps now away from the end of this 1,000 kilometre race. It's a battle for the lead between Iberica Racing Team in the roof and NX Racing Red in the BMW. The lead just changed moments ago, but this battle is not over. These two drivers very well matched. Their previous stints, like for like, have been very similar, and now we find them on track together after 5.5 hours of racing. There is less than a half a second in it. Now they're encountering a fair amount of lap traffic. I think Isaac Price has the upper hand at the moment, even though he's in second. I think there's plenty of potential for a cheeky late move.
Yeah, and I was also expecting the BMW to have some better tires here at the end, but so far that doesn't really seem to be the case. Iberica Racing Team must have a really good setup. Have the the rear tires are really maintaining themselves.
Oof, that's a tight squeeze. So that
was the Flux Racing team they just negotiated. Up next on the road, Last Lap Motorsports. Currently about 3 laps down.
Oh, NX Racing Red running a little wide there.
I think Iberica also had a little slide through Spoon, and now in the slipstream, can Isaac Price go for the inside or the outside? What will he do? Maybe he'll do neither and wait for something else. I think he's going to wait for
I really
something
hope
else.
not.
Yeah, that's a definite lift as they went into 130R. Although that's risky from Moreno going wide, but he wasn't the ideal line, but he kept it. Now, can Price get a good exit here? Yes. More slipstream to come, I think.
I don't think he's close enough, unfortunately, to make a move.
And it looks like it
3/10 back,
got
exiting.
big traction off the front.
Yeah, you're right. That's Last Lap Motorsports pulling over to the inside, letting him through.
Whoa.
Isaac
Isaac
moment.
a lot heavier a lot late onto the brakes in turn 1. Kind of cost him out, unfortunately. Had to make a little move to avoid Iberica Racing car. Also want to note that the Radicals Online #1 car has passed the GT Ross car for the 7th position. Jonathan Salhani behind the wheel of the Radicals Online #1 car.
Good race for Radicals Online. It's been exciting. They've definitely had an interesting race and provided plenty of entertainment for us.
Yeah, also Team GTL currently in 5th, and also Core Motorsports still sitting in the 4th position as Isaac makes a big mistake there.
Yeah.
I think this is starting to fall apart here for Next Racing Red.
Oh, when you say that, you
Oh,
say
I
that.
barely.
I know.
And
I'm going to stop talking about it.
next cars for them to pass are battling for position. 27th is Sam Michaels in R4R Motorsport car, battling with 28th place number 60 Trinity Motorsports Dirk Reinhardt. And just ahead of them, 4 more cars, 2 of them also battling directly for position.
Currently on a screen, you see the number 60 and the number 4. Currently
They're also
passing.
working to get around a lap car, which they do.
Yep. You see a Birka Racing team and Isaac Price in the NX Racing Red car in the distance.
Isaac Price's line through 130R and his speed that he carries is amazing, but the problem is you can't do anything with it because by the time he gets to the chicane, he's already braking.
Yep.
And
a little
then,
too deep on the brakes.
Yeah.
Into
It
the
looks like he
Casio
lost
triangle.
time. Yeah, we can see he dropped back in the back of the picture there. Birka swerving across the track, cutting the draft a little bit. And this battle that we're watching now between Trinity and R4R isn't really shaping up just yet. They're really close. It's just like the oh, there's even more lap traffic in front of them. The 83 car, Direct Clutch Motorsport.
And it's all tight together, and they are scrapping for position, at least 2 of them.
Yes, the 77 Marlboro Motorsport car is multiple laps down.
under
That
10
car
laps
is
to go.
yielding.
Yeah, we are. We're just hitting. I believe it's next lap will be 10 laps to go.
Yep, next lap will be 10 to go.
Maths.
It's when the counter goes. And Isaac running a little wide again, exiting Degner.
Still close. This battle for the lead is not over. I think Isaac Price maybe... It will take Moreno being held up, but I think it's likely that Moreno will get held up. And I think Price, while it looks right now a little bit bleak, I think as long as he doesn't make any horrendous errors, he is still in a chance of taking that lead. And the closer we get to the end, the more risk Moreno has of making a mistake and then not having the chance to be able to repass.
Exactly.
So it is... it's on a knife edge.
Same for Isaac, really. He can't make any more mistakes because he's already almost a second back. Cars you see now are, yes, they're in a battle, but I think Dirk Reinhardt, he races in the GT3 Challenge on iRacing quite often. He's a respectful racer. Many people know him to race pretty well, so I'm pretty sure he's going to let the Birka and whatnot around.
Quick shout out to our Lone Ford GT in the race today, running in the 13th position. It's Glacier Racing.
Yeah, and they started well down the field, so again, they've driven the wheels off that Ford GT. Richly deserved.
Extremely consistent.
Yeah.
Also,
really impressive.
not just them, but also Coanda Simsport. They were down in 42nd at one point. They're up to 18th. Or 19th, sorry.
That is amazing, considering what they had to go through.
Yep.
Round 1 winners finishing 19th, so they'll still be slated for the 24-hour. Remember, top 30 in points after each round are locked into the next round, provided they set a qualifying time within 103% of the pole.
I think now Isaac's going to be able to catch Moreno here. Getting closer and closer to this pack. We're actually going to go on board with Isaac.
That's probably a good place to be. You can have a bird's eye view of this. So that's 1 car down for both of them. 2 more to go at this point. Next car to encounter is the R4R Motorsport with one of the Michael brothers on board.
Yeah, I believe it's Scott Michael still driving.
They are in the same room. They are physically swapping, which is a novel way of doing things.
Looks like they're not going to let... they're not going to let Birka by now. I was hoping they didn't do it on the inside there, going into 130R. Isaac runs wide here.
Foot flat to the floor. You wouldn't know he was running wide.
Yeah.
Again, Iberica getting the better run out of Casio Triangle.
Oh, I don't like this. Around the outside has got Isaac Price. That's not worked
Yeah,
at
that
all.
really threw him off there.
He got to. I mean,
Wow,
to be honest,
he-
that was a. Yeah.
He didn't lose much time.
No. Yeah, not ideal.
Well,
But
you see, he straightened the corners when he did.
yes, he set himself up for the second part.
Direct
It was
Clutch
definitely
Motorsport
doable.
also letting him by. Oh, and he was still on the inside of Isaac there.
Whoops.
So now back to open track.
Next car is just into the Degners now. It's the Ford GT of Glacier Racing.
May or may not catch them before the end. Probably will, just about. So that gives Moreno a good opportunity now to break away, because with no traffic, he is probably the faster person at this point in the race.
Well, Moreno, a little mistake there, getting onto the grass. And now I'm going to jump away from this lead battle. Nobody jump all crazy. Just going to go and look at Ben Tusting and Team Kimura, who once again in a battle with JCL Sim Racing. Last time they put on some fireworks. Looks like Kimura's going to have a run here. They have no choice but to go to the outside for turn 1.
Not quite
Break
able.
early.
Yeah.
This is the other closest battle on the track outside of the lead battle. Give you guys a fresh of breath air.
A fresh of breath air.
What did I just say?
A fresh of breath air.
I need to eat.
Yeah.
I don't have any food in me.
Yeah, you've stuck this whole 6-hour race. You've not moved, I don't think. And the lead's now very close into turn 1 and 2. It's always through the faster corners that Isaac Price has a little advantage.
Yeah, the BMW has the most downforce, as far as we can tell, between all the GT3 cars. So turns 1 and especially through the S's here, he should gain quite a bit of time. It's the hairpin, the final chicane, stuff like that Moreno is going to be better on.
Seven laps-ish to go. Lap 166 of 173. Very wide for Moreno. He makes a small mistake into the second Degner, and that's given Isaac Price a good run into the hairpin, but I don't think it's enough this time around. But it shows that Moreno is not feeling calm at all. It was quite a big error. He's made another mistake
That's
as he
why-
defended.
I don't think Isaac has... The roof is faster in the straight line. I don't know what their wing settings are.
As
But
they come into Spoon, I don't know what Price is going to
Yeah.
do here. He shouldn't go for it. No, he's lifted
No.
off, but he's going to try and get a good exit or pressure Moreno into a mistake.
Oh, yeah, they both ran onto the curb there.
Oh, this is going to be slipstream, and not a whole. It broke traction for Price there. Price was not able to get the throttle down properly, and that's given
If it
Moreno
was
a
the
little
final
escape.
lap going into Spoon like that, Isaac
Absolutely.
would have gone for it. He would have
Another
gone for it.
turn 1 with Team Kimura and JCL Sim Racing. Once again, fantastic.
I think this. He's
Oh,
going
here
for the
comes
lead. He's
Isaac.
going for the lead in the chicane. Goodness me, he had to cut
Oh,
over
he
the
might
inside.
get a slowdown here.
Yeah, that was quite a big. No, he didn't. He got away with it. But now going into turn 1, which way will he go? Right or left? Moreno goes left. Price isn't close enough. Late braking, he's sliding.
Oh,
that was a
contact.
Twitch!
Oh,
Slide,
no!
slide! Moreno spun! Isaac's gonna go!
Isaac Price takes the lead after what appeared to be contact between the two leaders.
And
Moreno's
Iberica
spinning.
is
Certainly
deep
contact.
back.
Now, what are they going to do with that? You think he'll give it the place back?
I don't think so.
Whew. That's not the way they would have wanted to end that.
Isaac
not at all.
gets the lead and he's slowing. He is slowing.
Yes.
He slowed through Dunlop. Is he slowing to bring Moreno back, or is Price letting the lap traffic clear itself away.
It was the lightest of touches.
It's like America. It's like Moreno got a twitch on the load at the middle point of the corner, and he just had to slow down, and Isaac couldn't react.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the rear-wheel drive is always its sort of weakest point. It's always going to be unstable at that point of the corner, and getting a tap, that's all you need. It's like you can push it around with your little finger, let alone the force of a BMW. So it was unfortunate, but that is
Isaac
how
has
the leader
definitely slowed down since then. He's letting them by right now.
And here we go again. Lap 167 of 173. So now Isaac Price has to make the move again. Oh, he's taking him again!
Jeez.
Oh dear.
And
oh dear.
the Team TTL car was just
behind it. That's
him.
5th place. He's probably wondering what in the world's going on. Isaac now has dropped way back.
Yeah, that was a big error. 2 big errors in the space of a lap. Perhaps Moreno not driving as predictably as Price was expecting him to be.
I think it's
end,
also the fact that they're 2 different types of cars. They have advantages in different types of different places in the corner, and that also plays a role when you pick up the throttle and whatnot, when you let off the brake, etc.
6 laps to go.
That second push, though, I believe that was just Isaac missing his braking zone.
Yeah.
A braking point.
Well, fair play to Isaac Price for letting him through, although I imagine there would have been a protest had he not. Although in the end it would have been down to the stewards to decide. The gap is over a second now. It's going to be a real last lap job if Price is going to be able to make this. He's going to be able to take this win for NX Racing Red.
This is too big of a gap. I think 1.6 seconds, only 5 laps. Only thing that could change it is this battle ahead of them, which for some reason I feel like is deja vu. I don't know why I feel this way.
All over again?
It's Groundhog Day.
Oh, obviously. Well, no, I don't know why this is deja vu feeling.
Wait, do you genuinely not know?
Well, the Trinity Motorsports car and a battle.
Yeah,
Yes, it is deja vu.
Yeah.
the collision.
It's
Yeah.
R4R and Trinity. So just ahead is the battle for 26th and 27th.
Yep.
So, lap 169 of 173. Battle for the lead has, well, been resolved for now with multiple collisions between the 2 drivers of the Verica Racing team and NX Racing Red. But yes, it does look like Moreno has this. And I mean, I probably shouldn't say that. Not the, it's curse of the commentator. Not really what I should be doing. But, I mean, you'd have to say, considering how much time he's made up on Price.
Yeah, both teams.
Very
here we go. Dirk Reinhardt letting them by again. Both amazing job by both the Verica Racing team and NX Racing Red. NX Racing Red doing the whole pit early and jumped a bunch of cars, and suddenly they were in the lead. And they led pretty much this entire race. But at Verica Racing, they did the opposite. They trimmed the last 2 pit stops down, and then they made an overtake in this final stint here.
Yeah, and the crucial thing was they shadowed NX Racing Red for that final stint, stopped on the same lap to undo any advantage that they could have had. It put them on equal footing and put them 3 seconds behind with about 30 laps to go. And this is where we are now with just 3 laps to go. And he's
I was
ahead.
going to say that Ben Testing and the Team Kimura car and also JCL Sim Racing, but they're still in a battle. However, going to SimSport, Rens Broekman up to 18th now. he's still trying to get position, so he's still pushing real hard. The closest cars on track besides this battle is the lead battle and also the R4R and Trinity Motorsports cars.
Which ironically happens to be in the same spot on the track.
Yeah, they're all actually right next to each other, so yeah, pretty much intertwined. Isaac has caught up a little bit to Julian, however, Julian has, I believe he has basically clear air in front of him currently.
One car up ahead, then clear gap.
Next, I know Isaac, next Racing Red, he's hoping that, I believe it's Scott Michaels in the car now, hoping that he can get by him relatively quickly.
Yeah, I think you're asking a lot though. I think Isaac Price probably resigned to the second position, hoping for a mistake, but not expecting one.
Team TTL also, I mean, right there, Richard Hampstead. We see him in the shot here, the McLaren. Extremely fast. He's been keeping up with this lead battle pretty much the entire time. Oh, as there goes Isaac around R4R, as we saw.
And he's going wide.
Ooh.
And he lost the position again.
Yeah,
Quite a few mistakes here.
Yeah, both these drivers, both the two leaders have made mistakes. And that just shows what pressure they're under.
Also, just want to say that we did miss, I believe it must have been when Coanda was making a move on both Ben Tusting and Nicholas Pomerati, if I didn't ruin your name. Somehow, JCL Sim Racing has fell behind Team Kimura 2. See Coanda Sim Sport in front of them both, so it happened this past lap. You can see the lap time of JCL Sim Racing has dropped quite a bit. Both
3 laps to go. $170 complete out of 173.
I just want to say, however, that when Enzo got into the car, he was over 57 seconds behind the lead battle. He is now 40 seconds.
They did give him about 5 or 6 seconds with that those incidents.
Yep. So they were trying to help Team Redline win, but not going to be enough.
Yeah, the Redline will leave you in a very good championship position.
Just behind this lead battle once again, Trinity Motorsports and R4R Motorsports. Cars look like they've been through a war. And for those who just started watching, they've been through about 6 hours of battles and everything. These two mainly being together for a lot of the race.
Well, we have a quick moment to remind you here in the last 2.5 laps of the race. Don't forget, for the rest of today, you can go to igpmanager.com/special. Get a free month of the 2D pack, provided you can answer the trivia question: what year did My3ID Gaming win GT1 and GT2 in MLB? Full terms and details on the site. Also like to thank Derek Spear Designs for one of our series sponsors, giving away a few track bosses at the end of the season. DerekSpearDesigns.com.
Up to the final 2 laps now. And Julian Rodriguez Moreno 1.8 seconds ahead now. And remember, the gap in the first race of the season, after 12 hours, was just over 9 seconds. So
yeah, it was just 9 seconds.
we've got a good run going here. MOE just, whatever sim it's in, you'll always end up with these brilliant classic races.
Sorry about that. JCL Sim Racing and Team Kimura just made a little contact there. A little aggressive by JCL. No spin, nothing, just a light tap in the hairpin. I think Ben Testing's going to like that too much. Looks like he's going to charge back here and spoon. No. These two now have these two have been through a war. This is actually the final spot in the top 10 for the 10th position.
Oh, Isaac! No, correction. I got confused with cars. Never mind me.
I think my heart just dropped a little bit. It possibly skipped a beat.
Yeah, so Isaac was just lapping a roof, which
Yeah, and
looks...
with the way things were jumping, I was...
Yeah.
Hey, these people are paying attention.
Exactly. You got my heart going as well. So 2 seconds to gap. 1 and a bit laps to go. Julian Rodriguez Moreno has the hardest job of all. Do 1 lap to Suzuka without making a mistake.
I think actually it's 2 laps to go, correct? Haven't got the white flag yet.
Oh, I'm seeing 172 on the...
yes, that's
So
what
it'll be
current
the
lap
white
they're
flag
on.
coming up
So,
any second now.
oh yes, right as Julian now passes the line.
Now it's last. Yeah,
Yep, the America Racing Team should be on the final lap right
Yes.
now.
what I said. That's correct. I'm always right.
Except when you're wrong.
Well, yes. So, Julian Rodriguez Moreno comes through Dunlop, heading up towards the Degners. Seen plenty of action in today's race. These 2 corners that you almost drive as one. Braking on a bend, not the easiest thing you can do in any car, let alone these powerful GT3 machines.
Yeah, these cars are really tough to get through Degner, especially getting back on for Degner 2 if you, by any chance, go onto the curb, the exit of Degner 1.
Just remind you, Iberica, well, Moreno actually set the 2nd fastest qualifying time and started this race in 2nd. It was Team Redline who started in pole, but they are a distant 3rd now. And yeah, 2nd, as you well know, is NX Racing Red, and they qualified their car down in 6th. So very much improved over this race, but you can't help but wonder what might have been had they not had that collision.
Yeah, if there was no contact, exactly. Mad props though to Isaac Price for and NX Red in general, just for allowing Iberica Racing Team by and giving everything another chance essentially.
Yeah, it was good sportsmanship.
So Julian Rodriguez Moreno coming through the Casio Triangle. Out of the final corner and take the win, 2nd to 1st. Iberica Racing Team, victory in the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka.
2nd place goes to Isaac Price for NX Racing Red. A fantastic race, a true classic MOE encounter, that one.
Peter 80 crossing the line in 20th. 21st will be Trinity Motorsports. Velocidaddy crossing the line now in 28th. Red line coming through Casio Triangle for P3.
Yeah, there they are, Benito. One of the fastest drivers out there. Good points for 3rd, but again, you wonder, could they have done better this time?
Still a great job by them to get 3rd.
I mean, out of 60 cars, any position up in
still
this part of the
51
field.
currently running.
Virgil Racing coming across the line now to finish 9th. An action-packed race for them. There wasn't barely a time when they weren't battling with someone.
Core Motorsports as well getting the 4th position. 2 top 4 finishes in a row for them.
Yeah, it's perfect, really good points. So it's all about consistency, and they have definitely proven they're capable of that. Perhaps they'll get a podium next time round. Remember that the next round is on January 10th and the 11th because it's a 24-hour race. Which is going to be fun.
Yeah. Radicals online, I believe, got don't know, is it the 6th or 7th position? Not quite sure.
By the way,
Looks-
stick around. We'll try and get interviews from the top 3 here as soon as they return to the paddock. Looks like every car has finished the run.
Congratulations to all the finishers. That was one heck of a race.
Yeah, all the way through. A bunch of battles throughout.
We just round out the final standings for at least the first 10 or 15 drivers anyway. So, the 1000 kilometers of Suzuka for Masters of Endurance was won by Iberica Racing Team. In the end, it was just a couple of seconds between them and Inex Racing Red. Team Redline got third in the end. Core Motorsports fourth. Vortex Sim Racing came fifth. AB Racing Silver finished sixth, and seventh was Radicals Online 1. Virgil Racing 8th, 9th Team Chimera 2, and JCL Sim Racing, after all their battling towards the end, rounded out the top 10. 11th was Direct Clutch Motorsport. Pure Racing Team 2 was 12th. 13th Coanda Simsport after, well, an unavoidable crash about halfway through the race. To recover to 13th is immensely impressive, and they've kept their championship hopes alive by doing that. A great drive from all of them. Phoenix Motorsport won in 14th, and Team TTL ran up the top 15. And 16th, honourable mention, Glacier Racing in their Ford GT. Nice one.
Yeah, great job by them to get another top 16. I was going to say top 15, but top 20 finish. Let's just say that, especially after starting 48th on the grid. Great job by them to make their way up through the field.
Three different cars in the top 3 positions. Roof, BMW, McLaren.
Yeah, that was that's pretty awesome, actually,
Yeah.
to see all that.
So that means it's actually just McLaren, McLaren and Ford yet to win a race so far this season. Roof and BMW have managed it.
Just Timu, I think.
Oh, hey, Jake.
Hey,
You're the first one in, so we'll talk to you, I guess. Do a nice little interview here. So you were NX Racing Red. You guys finished second. Surprised we're not talking to Isaac here. Guess he's at a moral dilemma on what to do on the final stint there. But you guys did really good, so mind talking about the race at all?
yeah, I had a really good start. Good first stint. I chose to pit early there. Thought I could get out in the lead and hold it there, and we did that until like the very end of the race. So, not sure what we could have done different. We didn't realize we could have used me again for the last stint, and I think that might have cost us. But Isaac was doing good. He was really fast, at least on the short run, and at the end, I think he pushed too hard and kind of wore out the tires and forced him into some mistakes, and then he hit that guy, but yeah, he let him back by, so hopefully we don't get a penalty.
What were you? I guess were you just sort of nervously waiting? There was nothing left for you to do. All you could do was watch and hope. I guess that's not really very fun.
Well, if you're the one in the car getting pressured by someone that fast, sometimes it's better to be watching it, but with the pace I was able to do on the long run, I felt like maybe I could have held him off, so at the same time I did wish I was there in the car, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So it was a good battle and a great race, so I'll take P2.
Well, congratulations for Inex Racing Red for that. Yeah, brilliant second position, and maybe one better next time in the 24 hours.
Oh yeah, we're all looking forward to that. We'll see.
As you just saw on screen there, Enzo Benito and Isaac Price, they're good friends.
You just got rammed.
It's fine, and we can see the winners on screen here. Birka Racing Team.
So joining us now from the winning team is Darwin Fernandez. Congratulations to your team on that win. That was a real tense finish. How was that to watch?
Pleasure for us. We stay here looking all the team at the sim racing local that we have in Madrid. And we have a problem because Julian, he can speak English, but maybe I can do a translator for you. Hello?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Did you hear?
Yes, well, I mean, we can do a translation, but I mean, what are your feelings right now with that?
Okay, perfect
result.
for us.
How do you feel about the end of the race there?
Julián, ¿cómo te sientes después de la carrera? Julián, métete al TS, ¿cómo te sientes después de la carrera? Just a second, please, because Julián is getting out from e-racing and coming to TS. Sorry about it.
No problem.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for us running here on your competition and with all the rest of the teams. We want to say thank you to Index Racing for his fair play and as well for Team Redline for the third place at the race. We are very excited here.
Good.
Yeah, we saw the images on Twitter. You guys were all watching it.
Yeah, we stay here. We have a sim racing local in Madrid where we do that the kids and people who like the motorsport in general came here to run with Gran Turismo and F1 2014. And we are working very hard for the sim racing, and it's a pleasure. It's a really pleasure for us win that race because in the last one we have a problem with Jesus Sicilia who lost the car, and we finished at 12th place. We are very very hungry with that result, and we work very hard looking for a good setup for Suzuka and looking forward for Spa 24 hours. We want to win there, but we know that it's too difficult as well.
Yeah. Are you going to be driving there yourself?
Sorry?
Will you be driving there?
We are 11 pilots, and we have very good pilots. Me and Alex and Darwin, we just the directors. We raced in the past when we was young, and now we are only for how do you say, to manage the team and support, looking for the strategy when we have to go to boxes and riding the race for our drivers.
You're managing quite a team there.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we use 3 or 4 pilots for 24 hours because we love that competition and we want to win.
Indeed.
You guys did a great job. Hope to see you guys at Spa and do well.
Yeah, I think Julian have some problem to get in of the TS. So if you want to interview another teams, we are very, very happy. We're going to have a dinner all together and say thank you to all the teams and you for the for the streaming, the broadcast. And sure, we will see again that race, not one time, just sure 3, 4, or 5 times till the next race.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. Thank you for talking to us.
Okay, thank you very much.
And finally, joining us here, third place finisher Christian Simcek. Hopefully that's the correct pronunciation. The third place finishing team, Team Redline. Congratulations on the podium. That was a really hard race. And are you happy with third?
No, of course not. Why would we be happy with third? That's a terrible result. No, yeah, we are pretty happy with that. I think all things considered, we drove pretty good. It is a tough race, and it seemed like there's a lot of chances for incidents to happen, more than Road America. So it was tough to get through the race, but yeah, we're happy we made it through, and I think we got some good points out of the weekend, so we're pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was important that you had a. I don't remember seeing you in any sort of incidents or anything. You had a clean run, which I think in this championship is just so important, like you say. Obviously, started on pole. Was I guess the aim was. Was it realistic to expect a win, or were you sort of looking maybe more for second or third?
Yeah, it would have been tough. I think the McLaren is not quite as quick as the other two cars here. Um, if Enzo was driving all the stints, we might have been able to win, but he wasn't. We split the driving 50-50. I gave it everything I had, but I think probably third is the best we could have hoped for. I got penalized for speeding in the pit lane, 15 seconds, but in the end, that didn't really mean much. I think that we made the best with what we had, I guess. So
yeah, exactly. And
was that the final pit stop, the 15-second penalty?
Yes, that was the fifth stint when I came into the pits. That was the beginning of Enzo's last stint there.
Okay, so we thought it was a toe bug or something, and we were like, "Oh no, it happened to you guys!" And then, okay, it's good. It was only a pit road speeding penalty.
Yeah, I was going way too fast in there every time, and I got away with it a few times, but not that time.
24 hours next. Have you decided your driver lineup? Are you already working towards that?
Yeah, no, we don't. I'm not sure. I'd like to drive. I think Enzo will drive. We've got a couple of new guys on the team, Alexi and Ollie, and I think those guys might drive too. So I guess probably look for the four of us at least.
That's a stellar lineup right there. We saw Alexi was at the first race for you guys. You guys finished second. I think for the 24-hour race, those four, that's going to be a very strong lineup.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, I thought we looked pretty good at Road America. I think the McLaren will be a little bit stronger at Spa too. I hope, just because I think it's a little bit better in the straightaways, maybe. So maybe we'll get a little bit of a better result there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Christian, for joining us, and congratulations on third position. And see you at Spa.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for organizing the race. It's a great job, really fun.
Well, that pretty much sums it up then. A thrilling race, 6 hours, in fact, of this 1,000 kilometers of Spa. Suzuka even, wow, already thinking ahead of the next race. Yes, well, join us on January the 10th for the 24 hours of Spa-Francorchamps. That is just going to be an epic. The MOE 24-hour races are just something else. Hope you'll be able to join us there. And well, thank you for joining us today as well. Thank you to all the admins, Phil Diaz, Michael Booth, Jonathan Palmer as well. Just everyone who's helped out with the running of this race, and all the drivers as well. So yes, see you on January 10th, and goodbye. Before I go though, I've got to mention, of course, DirectSpearDesigns.com and IPGManager.com, who have provided prizes and support and title sponsorship to the races in this series. So of course, thank you very much to them. Again, without them, we wouldn't be here either. So thank you very much. Goodbye.